Well, hello there.
Well, ahoy.
Hello.
Milton, how you feeling?
Yep. No, I actually, believe it or not, I actually feel pretty good.
Man, that's crazy. That's impressive, man.
Yeah, I don't know if impressive is the right word. I don't think anyone's tolerance should be that high. I can dummy 100 milligrams and be like, meh, I'm okay.
Jeez.
Yeah.
I would be annihilated, man. Well, you know, you now have a superpower. You must decide whether or not you wield it for good or evil now.
Fair enough. Fair enough.
Man, okay. Well, guys, man, it has been a crazy busy week, and are you guys ready for tonight?
You could say that again on about 18 different levels.
Yeah,
Right.
yeah.
If I at all ever seem distracted, it's because I'm having to deal with the, hey, do you still have room? Or, oh man, I can't make it tomorrow. Sorry, I forgot it's my birthday.
Yeah, my shortest day this week was 11 hours straight.
Oh my God.
That was my shortest. So this week has been completely bonkers.
That is ridiculous.
But I made sure that I had the time I needed to make Mar, and I'm ready, man. I'm ready for you guys.
This is
Fuck
the top
yeah.
priority.
But yeah, that's absolutely true. But the thing is, today's going to be a little bit of heavy lifting on you guys. This is a character creation episode, largely. We're going to do a lot of narrative stuff and a lot of talking stuff, but you guys are going to be, well, listen, I'll just burst your bubble right now. You guys are going to be RPing multiple characters, so.
Oh, yeah, I love
For
it.
that.
I'm okay with this.
Yeah, so it should be fun. It should be interesting, and I think we can just kind of go ahead and get started if you guys are ready.
Fuck yeah.
Currently
Okay, awesome.
I'm currently picking up the playbook that I want for my guy, I think.
Okay, awesome. Yeah, feel free to, and you know, like, we can, if you have a couple that you're thinking of, you know, when it comes time for you to choose, we can go through it. Like, it doesn't have to be an ironclad decision.
I'm just gonna pick the first one right now and just completely shot in the dark. I like the name of it, and
Yep.
so I think it's gonna fit me perfectly, just based off of what it's called.
Perfect. That's the way to do it.
Yeah.
Okay. Then I can go ahead and welcome folks to our tabletop RPG stream called Monsters Ain't Real, where we are currently using, well, actually, you know what? I'm going to change that because we're pretty much making the move where we are using the Dungeon World rule set, because we're basically using Dungeon World to enjoy some good old-fashioned RPG fun set in an industrial horror universe.
Whoa.
Boy, oh boy, you guys have no idea what the hell I have planned for you guys. So to anyone new, all the old episodes are up on YouTube, and the podcast is continually being updated and populated. So feel free to check those out if you're new, but you can still just hang out and listen to the episode, even if this is your first one. Have some kick W's and maybe a chuckle or two. And with that, we have probably the briefest recap yet, which is kind of crazy considering what happened, but it's a very, very brief recap. Last time, you guys closed the black hole. You fused together to become Meta-Neoni, where each of you were one aspect of Meta-Neoni. You fought Volos for a very brief period of time. You had something go terribly wrong, and Locke became doomed. And then I introduced what would be the next part of the campaign. you guys would build expendable characters and play them in the red ink. And today we're going to be building your red ink characters. Oh, you know, they're not red ink right now, but they're going to be going there. We're going to build your characters, and we will get started on the 5th and final arc of Monsters Ain't Real.
Holy shit.
We're actually here. We are about to enter.
No,
There's another one. There's a secret one. There's a secret ink.
There's a secret. There's an epilogue.
There's
an epilogue.
We gotta play through Prime once we make it.
Yeah.
That's true. That's true. Yeah. And so before we get started with the episode proper, we can go ahead and do the narrative intro. I will tell you though that today's narrative intro is a little bit different. The camera opens on the concept of choice. And it is abstract, and the visuals that we see cannot be described. So just allow your mind to conjure what visions that it will, and let that be what the camera captures. But it is the concept of choice and the weight that it carries. To choose something is to believe that something else was possible, and that you have manifested reality by applying your consciousness to make a choice. And as simple as this may seem, it is the very power of creation and destruction. At the whim of choice is the ability to destroy an entire universe that could have been. By choosing, not only do you apply your hand to guide fate and force yourself upon the course of the future, but you also hold the measure of an entire path of existence as not worthy, and as such, it never comes to pass. Every choice you have made thus far has created the present you exist in. It has also shaped and limited the possibilities of the future you are to venture into. Every choice you have made thus far has also annihilated a nearly infinite number of other universes that could have existed. The lives that could have lived, the deaths that could have been avoided. Willingly or unwillingly, you have been destroyers of potential worlds that could have been. That is because the big choice, the one you have known you will have to make for a long time now, is virtually all-consuming. There will come a point, should you survive long enough, where you will finally hold the future of everything in your hands. Existence, void, death, life, creation, destruction, happiness, sadness. They will all be yours to do with what you will, but you will only get one choice. You are about to send a group of expendable humans to their almost certain deaths, and while they are away doing what seems impossible, you will have to consider what happens at the end. If they succeed, if you succeed, you will have to choose, and not choosing is a choice. So think honestly about what you will do, because you will have to choose. The time is coming. In fact, the time is near. And with that, we are back.
Holy shit.
We are in the bar. You had just had a very brief encounter with Volos, who very easily could have killed you when you came out of the chamber, but did not. Instead, he had a snappy one-liner of some sort, and he left.
Idiot.
And you guys are now back in the bar. Time is moving as it should, and the time has come for you to choose your expendables.
Fuck yes.
So the way this works is Lu 2 takes whoever's choosing their expendable into the chamber and asks you which ink you want to look into. And it's kind of annoying because Slump, he takes you in there first.
Okay.
And he asks you, which ink, and you tell him the white ink, right?
Yep.
And it seems like he asks this question so many times. Like, he asks you, you say white ink, he kind of discusses with you the white ink and all the other inks, and he asks you again, and you say the white ink, and he starts talking about the kinds of peoples and things that you should expect and want from this person, and he asks you again, and you say the white ink, and it gets kind of annoying, but you start to get the sense that, like, this is such an important decision. This is such a huge move forwards that he can't take any chances that the decision hasn't been thought through absolutely thoroughly. So while it's annoying, you stick to your answer, the white ink. Is that right?
That's right.
Okay. So we're going to go through a little bit of who and what this person is. Now, I know you have a very good idea of who this person is, and that's excellent. But we need to build a little bit around this person. We need to know who this person is, and on a couple different levels. So when you finally say the white ink, and Lu 2 finally looks satisfied with this answer, he pulls out a single prime ink coin, and he pushes his thumb against it in the air, and he pushes it through the air, and it leaves that pearlescent streak in the air with the kind of sound of tearing Velcro, and a white portal kind of opens up. But this is not a portal that you've seen before. It seems, the best way to describe it, it's like he's kind of swiping through Google Maps. He can kind of place his hand on the surface of the portal and move it around and zoom out and zoom in. And he starts asking you about the person that you're looking for, trying to, because you Slump, you don't know who you're looking. You don't know the name of the person you're looking for, right?
Sure.
You just know the traits of the person that you want to look for. So why don't you tell me, what would Slump think to himself, and what would Slump be describing to Lu 2 to help him kind of swipe through the Google Maps of the white ink? What are the kinds of descriptive things you would tell him that would let him hone in on this person?
Sure. So I think, if I'm not mistaken, Slump, when he lived as Qualkek, he worked at the mine, did he not?
Yep, that's correct.
So I think Slump, although does Slump have any memories of before the barbecue?
I think they're very disjointed. I think they come in bits and pieces. I don't think that they're all gone.
Sure.
I think that they're difficult to grapple with, and I think Slump often becomes focused on what he's doing and pushes those away.
Sure.
But I think they're there to grasp at if he wants them.
Okay, perfect. Because I think Slump would basically start imagining like the Daniel Plainview type. He'd be thinking of like someone who's going to be the cutthroat businessman who's going to show up and purely out of self-interest or the completion of his task will do like whatever it takes, period. Will not refuse to step on anyone's throat to accomplish his goal. So he would sort of remember back to seeing those types of people come by the mine, prospectors or fellow or competitor businesses, things like that, you know, potential investors, whatever. And he would think back to the really greasy, self-interested ones, and he would sort of use that as his inspiration, I think.
Perfect. 1 sec. It decided to minimize everything on all my monitors for some reason. Okay.
I've done that a few times. I fucking hate it.
I just went to move my notes and it minimized everything.
Yeah, it's something like if you like click and accidentally drag for a second onto like the action bar or some shit like that, or the task bar, it just totally minimizes everything. I hate it.
Got it. Okay. So as you're thinking of this kind of person, the view through the portal kind of changes, and it becomes kind of like a spider web fragment of a bunch of different images. It's no longer looking at one image. It's looking like a tons and tons of different images of different areas of different people. And it's much more narrowed down, but still not quite there yet. So as you're kind of describing this person, why don't you tell me a little bit about what this person does for a living? What this is no longer in Slump's control. This is just now start describing what the portal is doing. And why don't you tell me, what does this person do for a living?
I like to think that the person that Slump would be envisioning would be one that he got the impression was so disenfranchised by like the corporatocracy, like was so displaced by the you know, corporate hell, and the fact that this is a person who is a circle in a square world and just does not fit into the cubicle lifestyle. And so instead he took to I like to think that he took to doing sort of odd jobs where he could like deliver this parcel, you know, go and rough up this guy who owes me money. But I think over time, this is a person whose sources of income have become less and less, what do you want to call it? Like legal, I guess. This is a person.
Okay, yeah.
This is a person who's really sort of taken to the sort of mostly Robin Hood approach of mostly steal from the rich and give to himself, but it is sometimes just steal from whoever and give to himself. So basically a person who's become disillusioned by the corporatocracy and now makes a living by stealing from the snobs.
Perfect. Okay. So then the portal falls away to only a number of images now. And now we can see a couple people. We actually see the individuals. There's 5 of them here. One of them fades, and now there's only 4. As you keep thinking about it, there's only 3 left now that are visible through this portal. Now, describe to me what this person looks like. I know you described it a bit before, but what is the image in the portal? In fact, why don't you tell me the scene that you actually see through the portal? When you look at this person and Slump sees this person and says, "That's the one," what are you looking at through the portal?
Sure. So when looking through the portal, you see the sort of cross-focused, straight-on camera angle of a sidewalk, a busy sidewalk in sort of like a Bowerstone type of city. So people go hustling and bustling, large brick smoke towers, big factory buildings, gray skies, and towards the camera is walking quite a peculiar character, and that is a man that appears to be dressed up sort of like a mix between Dr. Freeze and Willy Wonka. It's a guy that is wearing a full white suit, white shoes, white dress pants, white vest, white shirt, white jacket, and white top hat, and is walking with a white cane, but it's all pretty tattered. It's all like there's like grease stains, and there's what appears to be charcoal, patches and dirt and scrapes, and some of the elbow is torn up on this end, and the shoulder is torn up on this end, and there's part of the top hat is bent at a weird angle on the rim, and there's some patches everywhere. But and his face is also kind of peculiar. He looks kind of like he's wearing late 1800s, early 1900s clown makeup, but it's faded, and it's not pronounced. It's not like the Joker. It's just sort of a whitish like palette with and the one weird and identifying thing that he has is what appears to be hearts on either cheek, but it's not clear if they're scrapes, if they're birthmarks, if they are makeup. You're not quite sure, but there's some slightly faded red hearts, one heart on either cheek, about the size of a coin. And the scene is him walking towards the camera, sort of twirling this cane as though he is literally the most powerful and important business person on the planet. He barely stands out among the rigmarole around him and people hustling and bustling to and fro. He in no way stands out as some remarkable specimen, because he kind of looks a little bit roughed down, but he just looks like the absolute most confident person you've ever met in your life. And I think through the portal you see him visibly stumble towards a person who was about to cross the street and was looking both ways, and gives him sort of a, "Oi, steady on there, eh? Go on, go across the street there. What mind's your step?" And as he walks away, slides a pocket watch into his pocket.
And as this image is kind of playing out,
Mind your step.
Slump is more and more realizing that this is the person. When you kind of take a step back, it's the only image in the portal. Now that is the only, all other things have disappeared, and now all we see is this person. And you see everyone around him kind of slow down, and he looks a little bit confused for a moment, as he has not really slowed down. And Lou too kind of gestures at the portal and says, all right, Mr. Slump, go on through and see if you can convince him to come on through. I'll keep the portal open for a little while, and just if this is the one you think, then go on and talk to him.
If you're sure.
I mean, I trust your judgment, Slump.
All right, Slump will give it a try.
All right.
Good luck, Slump.
Good luck, Mr. Slump. And you step through the portal and are face to face with this man who you've chosen will enter the red ink, will face Volos, and will most certainly die. And as you step through, the portal remains open behind you. You can literally look behind you back into the chamber, and everyone around you is very slowed down except for the man standing in front of you. What would Slump say to this man?
Hey.
That's it.
How do you think, and so I actually meant to ask his name earlier. The name of this individual that you've chosen is
Rippy.
So how would Rippy react to walking down the street, just very, very successfully pickpocketed a pocket watch? The whole world slows down. An extra dimensional portal opens up in front of his face. a giant mountain of a man steps through and says, "Hey, what would Rippy's response be?"
I think his response would be to stop completely in his spot, stare at exactly what was happening, and then immediately do a breath check to see if he's like absolutely plastered. Like he thinks this must be like he's been drinking turpentine accidentally or something like that. And then I think he would just stare directly back and go, "Hi there, bruv. How's it? What are you doing coming out the Oi, you came out the middle of the street and talked to me, and everyone else is all, what? I think you would just stare at him."
Yeah.
And
Yeah, go ahead.
well, I was gonna say, I think, well, do you have any sort of direction that you think this should take?
Yeah, so basically at this point, I listen, as much as I would love to torture you guys and make you just have a full-on conversation between your two characters.
I'll fucking do it. If you make me, I will do it.
I think honestly, what do you think are the kinds of things Slump would say that would convince Rippy to do this? What are the arguments that Slump is capable of making that Rippy is willing to hear that would convince him to do this thing?
I think Slump would say,
Hey, Mr. Man, you're good with the.
and he just like swinging his hands back and forth, kind of like just weirdly in some indistinct pattern. And Rippy's just staring at him, swinging his hands around. Right. Not sure what you're doing, really. Kind of confusing. And someone was like,
The tricks with the hands, the fast, and there's something goes by.
no idea what you're referring to, as a matter of fact. Respectable businessman I am. No clue what the fuck this is. He's waving his hands back and forth.
You're good at the thing with the hands where you.
And someone who's like moving slowly by, Slump like takes their scarf off their head and just drops it. Right.
Okay, listen. Here's the deal. Slump bets you.
And Slump pulls out his monocle.
This monocle, that you can't get the monocle out of Slump's pocket without Slump noticing, and then if you win, you can keep it.
And Rippy just stares at him and says,
And if I lose, you're gonna smash me head in? No, pinky promise, no smashing your head in.
right, okay, no moving. And I think Rippy would start walking towards Slump and then trip and stumble into Slump with like the most basic bitch, not even attempting to, and just stumble into him, and Slump would immediately go,
Are you okay? You okay? Oh, steady on there. Oh, sorry, Slump is a bit of a klutz.
"Oh, hey, no worries. And Rippy would take a couple steps back, and then out of his hand would dangle the pocket watch, and Slump would just sort of stare at it and say, or sorry, not the pocket watch, the monocle, and Slump would just sort of stare at it and say,
All right, now give it back, asshole.
so he would give it back, and Slump would say,
So you're pretty good at the. You're pretty good at Malusions?
"Illusions?
Malusions, where you make something that isn't there.
You mean illusions?"
That's what Slump said.
All right, well, yeah, I suppose I know a good trick when I see one.
Well, would you have expected to see what you just saw come out of the middle of the street?
What do you mean?
Me!
Oh, right. Suppose not. Suppose I wouldn't have predicted that, no.
And how does Slump do it?
How do what?
How does Slump do it?
What does that mean? How does Slump do it?
Oh, Slump's name is Slump.
What the fuck is a slump?
Can Galdrick see this fucking portal at all?
No, you can't.
Slump! Slump's name is Slump. Right, say it again and again isn't going to fucking help, is it? It's like me trying to ask you to define the word slump and you're just using it by saying a slump is a slump. Who the fuck is a slump?
And you can see Slump is like crossing his eyes, trying to figure out how to identify the self. And then just Slump turns around and gestures broadly at the portal.
This, did you expect to see this?
Ow!
Fucking A, no, not a chance, no, definitely not. Right, and you'd know if it was just a cheap trick, right?
Yeah, suppose so.
Well, do you think it's a trick?
And I think Rippy would like actually look puzzled and would say,
Yeah.
now, reckon it's not, reckon it's real, some fucking how.
Okay, well, then you gotta believe Slump when he says, you are required for a mission to save the end of the world by venturing into a demonic realm to confront an all-powerful demon boss who's hell-bent on annihilating the entire universe with a team of Oberith intent on returning the universal state to that of nothingness.
I think Rippy would just sort of stare back and without changing his expression at all, would blink once really hard and go, you what?
Need you to venture into a demonic realm to defeat an evil one-eyed boss man who wants to work with his team of Oberith to return the universe to a state of nothingness or some other equally horrible plan of intentional, eternal darkness and enslavement.
Shit. You reckon I'll be back in time for dinner?
No. In fact, you know what? We'll leave that part out for now.
What part's that?
Anyway, it doesn't that part doesn't. Don't Slump will make you a promise. You'll find out. Okay. You'll find. Don't you worry. Slump won't be able to keep that secret from you for very long. Very long.
And Slump's like making the sign of the cross as he turns around. What are you doing there? What are you doing with your hand there?
Nothing. Hey, well, you're ready to go?
Where's that?
All right, off we go.
And someone just sort of grab him by the jacket and push him through the portal.
That's so good. Will I be back in time for dinner? You know what? Let's leave that for later. Won't be able to keep it a secret for long. Oh my god!
You're not gonna be back for any dinner ever again. That's it for you.
I'm upset that you started with Slump. How are we gonna follow that? What the fuck?
Oh, I didn't realize I was setting you guys up to
No
follow.
pressure. No, it's okay. The rest can be narrative if you want.
I've got a set order that I was gonna do this in.
Well, you fucked up. Let me tell you.
Yeah, I fucked up, guys. Jeez. Okay, yeah. And so you take Rippy and you go back through the portal, and sure enough, you're standing in the chamber. The portal closes behind you, and it's just you and Lutu and Rippy. And I think Lutu kind of has some very, very minor pleasantries saying, you know, we're busy, I gotta get through this. Opens the door and he escorts you and Rippy out of the chamber. And he says, you know, there's lots of drinks. Feel free to have as many drinks as you need to be able to deal with what you just heard. And you know, basically he tells Rippy to just ask Slump for any and all information that he needs. And basically,
I know, but you realize I had my entire fucking life back through that portal, right? You can't just take me. Hello, is anyone listening to it?
I like him.
And so basically, you know, during the time that everybody else is doing their things, Slump and Rippy can exchange a ton of information. So Rippy doesn't have to come in completely blind to everything.
Sure.
He can have as much information as you'd like him to have.
Nice.
While everyone else finds their people.
Sure.
Now listen, I just designed an order. There's no good order to go in. Okay, I fucked up with number 1, so all I can do is apologize and say that I have an order and I'm gonna stick to it. The next one is actually Locke. You are the person who will find their person next. So, Locke, after Slump and Rippy leave the room, Lutu kind of eyes you and kind of solemnly kind of waves you into the chamber.
I guess he would walk in.
Okay. You walk in and Lutu kind of has a priming coin ready, and then he turns and he says, Locke, is there something? There's something on your mind. I can tell.
Yeah.
Is it the fact that we're sending people in to die?
Yeah.
Well, I know it doesn't feel good,
It never feels good.
but I mean, I just don't see another way around it. It's just
Wait, we've been doing this for so long. I'm tired.
I am
I'm
too.
so tired.
I am too. It's been so long and it's been so many people. And for a long time there, I thought maybe it just wouldn't happen. I thought it'd be a fight that we just fight forever until we lose, and I think we have a chance here to actually succeed, to actually win, and I think it'll be better for everyone. I really have to believe.
Honey, you don't have to prove anything to me, okay? Besides, I'm just gonna end up. We'll talk about it later. But yeah,
You sure?
Lou, you know I love you, and
Well, of course. I'd be a little bit offended if now was the time you chose to tell me that you didn't love me.
you know I would do anything to protect you, right?
I know. And I'd do the same for you. You know that.
I did something to protect you, to make sure Volos wouldn't do anything. And I'm pretty sure I'm going to share the same fate as whoever I choose.
Wait, what do you mean by that? What did you do?
You remember those... I shared the knowledge with you of what we discovered about fate in the blue ink, right?
I remember.
I used what was left of my luck, so to speak, to make sure that we could escape.
I don't think. No, we can do something about that. We can do something about that.
Lou.
I can do something about that.
Lou, listen to me.
I've been around for long enough.
Lou,
I can do something.
You listen to me. If we are successful, you don't have to do a damn thing. Okay? I want you to pour your energy into making sure this is a successful run. Because if we're successful, not only is the universe saved, but I'm saved. Okay?
We made it so far. So, fuck.
We haven't crossed the finish line yet, love. We haven't. You know that better than anyone. You are too important to lose. You know that.
You're more important.
You're such a bad liar. Don't worry. We got this. Those three out there, we got this. Okay? We've made it this far. And I'll be damned if we don't cross that finish line.
I think he just kind of like collapses onto you into a big hug, like just sobbing.
I think he would just wrap his arms around him and like kiss his forehead and just hold him tight. And while he's just crying, he's just like, let's just enjoy the time we have, okay? And who knows? If we pull this off, we'll just we'll have all of eternity, all right?
Aye, that
All
we
right.
will. That we will.
Now, be the man I know you are, and let's get this over with.
All right. Gold, you said, right?
Gold.
And he kind of sits up, takes a deep breath, and then gives you one of those kind of sly grins that he just, you know, he does whenever he thinks he's gonna do something kind of cool. And he flips a coin, and it seems to kind of suspend in the air as he kind of does just a very modest kind of little spin around as he catches the coin midair, presses his thumb against it, and pulls it down through the air. And a brilliant golden portal opens up.
I think Locke looks at him and gives him a kind of a grin. He's like, show off.
And again, he kind of places his hand on the surface of the portal and starts swiping around kind of Google Maps style. And you've actually done this kind of thing before when you were searching for people to take up the mantle of the entire quest back in the day. And so you know to focus on the personality traits of the person that you know you have to look for. And why don't you tell me a little bit about the personality of the person on the other side who is going to be chosen for this?
I imagine them being somewhat bitter. And the reason for this is I feel that this person was successful at one point in their life, and now they're just in the gutter, just completely in the gutter. They have lost everything. And that has driven them to kind of be on the street and just being a survivalist, trying to do what he can. So I would say he's jaded, he's bitter. Other than that, the only thing he's really had is his mind to kind of keep him safe. His wits about him.
Yeah.
I almost imagine him like and actually this kind of I really liked a book and I wanted to kind of fit this in, but he's it almost feels like he's like a failed alchemist or a failed wizard.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah, that's super applicable for the Gold Ink thing. Like sorcery and alchemy are very big parts, almost in equal measure for the steam engines, for protection, for the weapons and stuff like that. So there's a lot of use for very talented alchemists and sorcerers. And so this one is kind of a failed one. And as you are thinking about this, the portal images kind of spiderweb until there's a number of different images, all kind of swiping and scanning at different speeds. And so I think as it starts to narrow down on the person, why don't you tell me what this person does for a living, if anything? It sounds like they might be literally just kind of destitute, but why don't you go into a little bit more detail of kind of what their daily life is kind of like?
I would say like his daily life is kind of like he doesn't live on Zephyron for sure. He lives on one of the other cities where they're often raiding other cities to get resources.
Yep.
Because of that, like it's like there's probably some other hierarchy in there, like a social hierarchy where like there's the people who are better off, and then like he's like right at the bottom.
Oh, gotcha.
And he's using, guile or the things that he can remember with his alchemy to kind of keep him around, make himself useful, make a little coin here and there. But I feel that the reason why he's kind of in the raids is that is this bitterness. He has an excuse to blow something up. He has an excuse to cut someone open.
Yeah.
So like he's just full of resentment, I would say.
Yeah, absolutely. And as you're kind of more and more visualizing and understanding this person that you're looking for, again, it kind of narrows down to 5 people there, and 1 fades, and there's 4. 1 fades, and there's 3. And now, why don't you describe the person that Locke sees, and like what is the image of this person? What is the physical appearance of this person that you look at and you say that's the one? What do they look like?
Like have you seen Firefly?
Oh yeah.
Do you know Spider, the guy that Malcolm talks to, the guy with like the bowler cap and like the cut off wool gloves with a kind of somewhat leather jacket and just kind of worn out? Like, I imagine kind of like that attire, a little taller, not too much taller.
Yeah.
Pretty ragged goatee. Like, he hasn't really had any type of real amenities in a while. Like, but I would say he looks incredibly tired, worn out, bags under his eyes. Like, this man is probably in his 30s and he looks 60. That type of thing.
Oh, gotcha. Yeah.
And like I think when Locke sees him, you see him just kind of like slyly pickpocketing or dropping a alchemic device here and there to put like a distraction while he does his thing. And like sleight of hand everything, but I'd say like he catches him in the act of that, and he's like, that one.
Okay, so I think that's the scene that we see. The portal now only shows 1 person. It is this person. Their name is what's the name?
Sebastian Volt, because steampunk, so I figure Volt, why not?
Volt?
I fucking hate you.
Volt.
Just for clear.
Perfect. Okay, and so you come across this image of Sebastian using his alchemical tools to create a distraction so that he can do what he needs to do to survive. And as you've seen before, other times when you've introduced yourself to other people and in other attempts to put together a party, time slows down around him, and Lou 2 says, all right, Vincent, go do your thing. I'm sure you can convince him.
All right.
And you step through the portal into the gold ink. And what does the area kind of around you look like? What is the setting here that you step into?
I almost feel like it's kind of like a Dishonored, like by the wharf type of area.
Oh, I like it.
So like, yeah.
Like, are there like creatures that have been hauled up, kind of thing?
Yeah, like this is like a floating island, and like there's not a lot of water here, I imagine.
Yeah.
So like it's like really grimy, contaminated water. Any animals are there, or like a game that has been there is something that has been taken from something. So it's kind of more like we're keeping account, like almost like a warehouse type of thing, where they're just kind of taking stock in what they got in the last raid.
Perfect. Got it. Okay. And so you step through the portal, you see this around you, and how does Sebastian kind of react to seeing time slow down and this portal open up and this strange man step through it? What's Sebastian's kind of reaction to this?
I think a little off-putting. It's not that he hasn't been exposed to magic, but it's more that what is someone like this doing here? Like,
sure.
Because Vincent is pretty well kempt, pretty pretty, I guess is the best way to put it. But like someone like that is here at the docks on the wharf. He's either looking for someone, or he, like he's looking for someone to do a job, or he's trouble. So.
Yeah. And you do not need to do the extended two-sided RP that we saw from Slump and Rippy. What would be the kinds of things that Locke would say to Sebastian? What would be the kinds of arguments that he would use to this unknown person to convince him to do this insane thing?
I think it would be more, he probably would point out, hey, that's an interesting technique there, like pointing out what he saw, like with the alchemy and the device he used, like, just like not give away the whole barn, but like, I know what you did and I'm impressed.
Yeah.
And I think from there it would be more like the trying to have him understand that, like, he's, at least when it comes to alchemy, he's talking to a peer to some degree.
Sure.
Like, just to kind of get him comfortable, and as comfortable as possible in this situation anyway.
Yeah.
But I think then he would point out, like, look, like, it looks like this has been pretty rough. Like, obviously. Like, what if I could promise you a good meal and a warm place? The job that you'll have to do will be quite dangerous. In fact, you probably, he'd probably be upfront about it. He'd just be like, you are not going to come back. It's highly likely you will not come back. But you might be able to live the good life relatively if you take this on.
Very interesting. I like that. And what would Sebastian's kind of response to this be? Like, does he take that up quickly? Is that enough of a selling point, or Like, what would Sebastian's response to this kind of line of reasoning be?
He would absolutely, like, immediately would be like, nope. Why should I believe anything that you're saying?
Yeah.
Like, yeah, sure, time is slowed down, and you came out of nowhere, and you seem to know a little bit of what I am capable of, but I think you can understand why I'm very hesitant to accept such a generous offer from someone who came out of nowhere. But I think as the conversation goes on, like, the idea of not going to bed in some damp back alley, the idea of having a warm meal, you know, just literally like simple comforts, appeals to him.
Yeah.
Not, you know, like, not like the idea of going back to not the life he had, but something adjacent would be appealing. No more raids. Yeah, no more raids, no more backstabbing, or at least backstabbing that he needs to do to survive. So I think slowly he entertains the idea.
Perfect. And eventually, I can only assume Locke is able to convince Sebastian of the merit of this mission. And does Sebastian kind of go willingly through the portal, kind of a little bit aware of what's about to happen?
I think it's more like to kind of convince him. Vincent gives him a shot of his flask, like it's the real stuff.
Yeah.
You know, I'm not lying. This is some good stuff. And he takes a sip, and it's probably the best damn whiskey he's had in a long time.
Yeah.
And, you know, like, it feels warm. It tastes good. Maybe he's not full of crap.
Yeah.
I mean, if I don't like how this smells, I can always go back. He doesn't know that. He doesn't know that he can't. But I think
it.
He never asked Vincent either. So I'd say warily he goes through the portal.
Okay. Yeah. And you know, warily, tentatively, he steps through the portal. He is very briefly introduced to Lu2, who you know, kind of opens the door to the chamber and lets you guys out into the bar itself, and kind of says, you know, you guys can further discuss, have as many drinks as you need to get over this information. And he says, you know, Sebastian, Locke here can answer as many questions as you have. Then he looks over to you, Galdrick, and waves you into the into the chamber.
What? What do you want? I'm eating.
It
can wait. It can wait. It can wait.
What? The food can wait, or?
No, not the food. The food's yummy.
All right, but you can get food later. All right, and this is kind of important for right now.
Whatever. Fine.
Is it too much to ask?
No,
that maybe?
No, I guess I can save the world now. It's fine. Whatever.
All right, I wouldn't want to interrupt your dinner if maybe saving the world was.
It's a really good dinner. So.
Well, it's the only world we got.
I'll tell you what.
What?
It's a toss-up. I don't know which one I'd pick. A really good dinner or the end of the world.
All right,
I like food.
Galdrick, could you get your ass in here, please?
Yes, sir. Okay, sorry about that. I respond so well to authority. Yes, sir.
And you enter into the chamber, and again, it's kind of the same thing.
I start taking off my clothes.
Oh no, Galdrick, no, that's not, totally not necessary.
Yeah.
Nope.
What?
Don't need to. You can leave your clothes on.
Oh, okay.
That's not what. Why did you think you need to take your clothes off?
What are we doing in here?
We're gonna find the person who's gonna.
Oh, that's why I didn't want. Okay.
Did you think?
No.
Did you think we were gonna?
No.
Well,
I
I'm
I
flattered.
saw Locke. Look pretty angry.
All right. Now you know what? I'm kind of taking offense now
Why?
because, listen, you don't know the first thing about me and Locke. All right.
Okay.
And the fact that you
So
think
your relationship's perfectly fine right now?
listen, it's complicated,
Okay. Okay.
and I can't help but suspect you might have played a hand in that.
What do you? Okay, excuse me. We are here to find somebody to save the world, and you're going to bring up trivial things? Come on, let's get this done. The things are bigger than us.
All right. Well, a minute ago, it was
No. That was
about whether
listen,
it
a
was
lot
bigger
happened
dinner
since
or
then.
not. All
Can
right.
we just move it along?
All right. White ink.
Yes.
You're sure about that?
No.
All right. Let's go over the lists and all the pros and cons of all the inks all over again a couple times to make sure.
I'm not going to do that. I need a really good lawyer.
You want to get a lawyer?
Yes.
You need a for the mission?
Yes.
It's actually kind of clever.
Yes. Are we going to a very corporate world?
Parts of it, the parts you should be in are incredibly corporate.
Then why wouldn't we want a good lawyer?
That's, you know what? I don't have an answer. It's a damn good idea.
Yeah.
All right. Whiting's got some pretty damn good lawyers. I don't know that you'd really want a pirate lawyer anyways.
Yeah, I don't think we want a pirate lawyer. I don't think we'd want definitely wouldn't want a steampunk lawyer. That's just fucking
Oh,
trash.
some of them are pretty good. Some of the
No,
steampunk
they're all
lawyers are pretty
trash.
good.
They're all trash. They're all trash. The books have cogs on them. It's trash. Yeah, white ink.
Oh, all right, if you're sure.
Yes.
And he pulls out a coin, pushes it through the air. Big old portal
Try to catch
opens up. What was that?
Try to catch it.
Actually, you know what? Roll a d20 plus 3.
Ah!
Oh my god.
Oh, come the fuck on!
Natty 20.
Whoa.
Natty 20 for freaking Lou too. So
Wait.
you reach into the air and it's this amazing attempt that looks like you're just gonna swipe it out of the air, and you actually catch the coin, and you feel so proud of the fact that you just snatched one of Lutu's coins out of the air. And then you look in your hand and there's nothing there, and he's got it in his hand instead.
What the fuck?
And he opens up the portal. And why don't you describe to me a little bit of the kind of personality traits of the person that you'd be looking for?
Oh God. Okay. I need somebody who is smart. As in overly smart. As in, as you know, me. I'm kind of obviously talking to Lou. Me. I lift my fucking 4'11" brawny ass arm, which is just a twig probably.
Yeah.
I know I'm used to the brawn, but this time I need somebody with the mind.
And he's just kind of like staring down at the ground, swiping on the portal, kind of like, okay, I go, what the hell does that mean?
Gotta need somebody with a mind. Okay, need somebody who has a background and knows how to read a lot of books and investigate a whole lot of clues. I need somebody who does their own digging and rolls up their own sleeves. Okay.
You want someone who's read books and looks at things?
Yeah. You know
I mean,
what? You know what?
there's a lot-
Just can I spin the world? Like, just give me that. Just give me that. I like
you
start
kind of push
spinning
him
it.
out of the way, yeah. And you start. No,
No.
it's kind of complicated.
No, it's fine. I start zooming. I zoom. No, that's an ocean. No, okay,
that's-
keep going.
you're gonna see how the way it works. Like, you gotta be
Keep
careful.
going. Don't worry about it. It's fine. Keep going. I'm spinning it like a fucking basketball on the top of a finger. Going.
And it just starts going super fast. Then when you stop, there's an image of only one person there.
I zoom it in. That one.
What does this person look like?
I like to think it's Galdrick's image a little bit, like he's like it, and only in the terms that it's also a 3-piece suit. It's perfect. You can tell it's handmade. It would be a clean-shaven gentleman, very much so likes of that sort of Cowhearth esque, you know, that sort of space cowboy vibe, you know.
Yeah.
He's got the pocket watch sticking out of, and it's dangling in his vest. You can see the chain ever so slightly, you know.
Yeah.
When you hear him talk, he has a bit of fun the way he speaks.
I love it. And like Lou too kind of tries to push you out of the way a little bit. He's like, all right. You got lucky. All right, it's kind of complicated. You got lucky
Not complicated.
there.
You just you have to use your mind.
All right. So are you sure this is the one? You didn't even look at the other people.
I don't need to look at other people. I know what I want. Do you like go to order dinner and you stare at the menu for 20 minutes like, I don't know what you want? That's what you do. What I do, I walk in there, I know exactly what I want.
All right. Well, I don't know that I really need to be insulted for looking at the options and trying to choose the
No, it
best of
wasn't
the
insulting
options.
you. It was just telling you how my mind works. You work in a very due diligent sort of take your time, make sure you know you're making the right choice. You know, there's nothing wrong with that.
Stupid. He's calling you stupid. He's saying
No,
you're stupid.
fuck,
He's
you
saying
can't. The
stupid.
door's closed, idiot. You
come
can't
on.
hear us. No, shut up. Don't play with your fucking idiot. I can't believe you're gonna make my guy deal with that guy for another few months.
Yeah,
you
your
little
guy
shit.
sounds like a jerk. We're gonna have more fun out here anyways. Isn't that right? Where the fuck am I?
Oh my god. Okay. What is well, I guess first of all, what is the name of the person that has been selected here?
Okay, so fuck. His name's Bishop.
Perfect.
Bishop Kane.
I love it. And what is the scene that you kind of spun on? Like what are you seeing here? You see the person, but what's happening?
Fuck. I would say maybe he just won a court case. You know, this is adjourned. Gavel hits the thing. Bam. You know, everybody gets up. Everybody's leaving the courtroom and stuff like that. He's walking out with a slight grin because he just won. You know.
Yeah.
And he's kind of exiting the courtroom.
Okay, and as he's exiting the courtroom, time slows down. Everybody around him slows to a crawl, and this portal manifests in front of him. And Lou 2 kind of looks at you, Galdrick.
Yeah. I walked through it.
He's like, all right, all right.
I poke my head back through the portal. Is there anything I shouldn't tell him?
I mean, there's probably
Okay, I'll figure it out. I'll go. Okay, I'll go on that.
Great. Now, what would Bishop Kane's reaction be to seeing everyone around him slow down and a portal open up and a Galdrick step through it? What would his initial reaction be?
Oh, well, that's new.
I love that.
And who might you
Okay.
be, my friend? Hi, my name's Galdrick. Hello there, my name's Bishop. Okay, listen, come on. To what? Well, there's a boy. You do like puzzles? I guess. Well, I needed you to solve a really big puzzle, and if you don't, life as we know it will end. All right, well, that's a little bit strange to hear. Is there any way that I would be able to verify that in any term of the way, or is there any sort of literature you can give me, perhaps? Galdrick, can Galdrick like look at somebody who is like right next to them?
Yeah, oh
Just
yeah,
like- just like a
absolutely.
person?
Yeah.
Yeah. And Galdrick just wants to like pull out his pistol and shoot one of them in the head.
Oh my
Just
god.
a random person in the head.
Wow. So they're all slowed down. So you pull out your pistol and you just bury a bullet into their head, and the bullet basically, as soon as it goes into their head, there's this spray of blood that slows way down the hole in their head, slows way down as it's caving in, and they are dead immediately. But the whole thing is now in slow motion as they're dying in slow-mo.
Yeah. So you see, don't worry about it. They're fine. What I just did is what's going to happen to this entire universe, except by somebody who is actually evil.
Amazing. Could you imagine somebody evil?
Yeah, I'm the good guy.
Oh my god.
Jesus Christ.
Is that person gonna be okay? Like, can you like rewind a little bit? Just a little bit. I'm confused. What do you mean by this? Like a bad guy? You just shot somebody innocent. Oh, I want to look and I realized that I shot the wrong guy. I wanted to shoot the criminal, but I shot the like.
Oh my god.
I'd be like, oh my god. No, I can fix this. I can fix this. And I want to like lay on hands because I still have my lay on hands paladin abilities. Can I lay on hands and heal it?
Okay. Oh boy. Now this is okay. We're playing pretty fast and loose with the rules. You are technically, you're actually, okay. So you technically have the spell. This was technically a coup de grace.
It was. That's why I'm asking. Can I fix it?
I'll tell you what. I'll let you roll for it.
Okay, absolutely. I love this.
It's gonna be rolling a d20, and you're gonna have to be. Boy, you did shoot them right in the back of the head.
Right in the back of the head. Right in the back of the head.
You're gonna have to roll an 18 or higher.
Easy, done. Okay, so can I get a plus 10 for being so cute?
So I think what happens. Okay, you know what? Okay, here's what happens. All right, here's the scene. You say, I can fix this. You put a hand on the person's shoulder, whose head that you just shot the back of, and when you place your hand on their shoulder, the hole in the back of their head, the shattered, caving in skull, kind of reinflates and seals up, and it's like the wound is gone.
Yeah.
And then the bullet comes flying out the front of their face and blows out the front of their face all over the ground.
Oh, okay. All right. I want to be like, all better. Okay. Well,
Sometimes that happens.
okay. Well, listen. It doesn't. Listen. I can. You know what the scariest part is? What's that? This actually doesn't matter. This doesn't matter. Can you go on again? Okay. You have a finite amount of time until a really, really, really evil thing, not like me, I'm good. A really evil thing is going to do what I just did to everybody, including you, in stop time, and there's nothing anybody can do about it. Unless what I'm here to do, to recruit you to do, I've lost my train of thought, and you have to stop them before this happens to everyone. Okay, but if I stop them, does that mean that this person right here just died for nothing? No. You might be too good. Listen, no, they would listen. This person, they sacrifice themselves for the cause.
We'll remember them forever.
We'll remember that. We can make statues.
Oh God.
Oh my God.
We can make statues. Do you know who this is? That was my niece.
Oh my God.
Wait, what?
Oh my God.
Really?
Oh my
No. Yeah. I got you good.
Oh my god.
You know what? Fuck it. This sounds like it could be fun. Let's go.
Wow, what a nice guy. I'm so understanding.
Good. Come on in. You're gonna love it in here.
Holy fuck. Holy shit. Wow. That is not at all how I thought that was gonna go. Holy fuck. Okay, so I take it Bishop Kane walks willingly through the portal.
Yeah, he'll walk through the portal. He's just kind of like he's seeing what is going to happen. He's like, fuck it might as well be fun.
Oh my god. And I think so as you walk through, you're kind of pushing Bishop Kane ahead of you as you're leaving the chamber, and like as you're leaving, Lu 2 kind of puts a hand on your shoulder and turns you a little bit and just like stares daggers at you for a couple seconds.
What?
All right, I saw you. I was
That wasn't me.
I literally watched you shoot someone in the head, and it made the situation worse. It made him less interested in coming.
Is he here?
I mean, technically.
Then all is going according to plan.
All right, I'm starting to wonder. I'm starting to wonder what side you're on, really.
I'm on the side of good things. Okay? Do you want to save everybody?
Sure do.
Do you want to remake the world in my image?
Sure do. Wait.
Okay, all right, you heard it. I said it's locked in. It's a binding contract, right? That's right. All right, let's go. Come on.
No! Why did I give Fenelus a lawyer? What the fuck? This is a huge mistake.
Wait, hold on. Is he part of like the universal, bar? Because he can't practice law here then.
Universal bar, yeah. And it's just like, all right. Anyways, out you go into the bar, have as many drinks as you need, and
I never drink when I'm on the job.
Well, you're going to be on the job pretty much 24/7 going forwards, and I think you might need a drink.
All right, then. Where's the whiskey?
That didn't take much. I was gonna say, holy fuck.
had to object as a matter of rule, but no one says that if they insist, you have to decline. Okay. So yeah, Galdrick and Bishop enter the bar and sit down with this fucking growing motley assortment of Slump, Rippy, Locke, Sebastian, Galdrick, Bishop, and then Lu 2 kind of looks at you, Lu, and kind of waves you into the chamber.
All right, Lou will look around and then follow into the chamber.
And it's kind of the same thing. Lu 2 kind of asks you which ink you'd like, and you say green.
Green, yeah.
And I think Lu 2 kind of fights you on it a little bit.
Like,
kind of saying like green is not the not the choice. Like, this is the people from, the white ink could do this, the gold ink could do that. Like, he really doesn't think that green is the right choice. But you stick to your guns. You say green ink.
Yeah. I tell him the whole idea is we need someone who's going to stick with it, and I think someone from the green is going to have the type of personality that'll stick all the way through, even when it gets really messed up over there.
Okay, yeah. That actually makes a lot of sense, because green got pretty fucked up for a while.
It did.
Yeah, no, that's where the Oberith came in, so it makes a lot of sense that if anyone's gonna deal with fucking existence-ending apocalypse, that maybe someone from the green
We've done it all before.
Yeah, absolutely. And I think on that argument, Lu 2 kind of sees where you're going with this and stops arguing and totally agrees. And so he takes a coin, flips it up in the air, and looks at you for a quick second because Galdrick just tried to take the coin away from him last time.
I'm like, what?
Yeah, it looks really weird to you. It kind of flips it up and kind of darts a look at you like, don't try to grab it.
I assume that he's checking to see that I'm impressed. I think that's what's...
Yeah, okay, yeah, that's your read on the situation.
No, you doing it. Great job, man.
Very impressive. Excellent.
It's really good.
And yeah, and so he catches the coin and kind of opens a tear in the air, and a brilliant green portal comes to life. And he places his hands on the surface of the portal and starts Google Maps scrolling around. And why don't you tell me a little bit about the personality of the person, just a little bit of their characteristics of this person to help him in his search to find them?
Well, I think Lou goes in knowing that she wants it to be someone who's a follower of Ogma, because people who are super devoted to Ogma are completely like focused on just obtaining information, and she's thinking that's going to be the drive that'll keep somebody voluntarily in the red ink and pursuing this like to the point of death, is just that drive for, she recognizes that from back when she was there. So it's going to be somebody who's a follower of Ogma, and is extremely, curious and all about gathering that knowledge.
Yeah, and I think like as soon as you have the thought of Ogma, like immediately it starts to focus in. It's spider webs, and there's a bunch of different ones moving, and they're all wearing those blank scroll amulets. They're all garbed in the standard-ish dress of Ogma. Ogma doesn't have a really strong dress code per se, but there's just something about them all that kind of screams Ogma. And you see just all these followers of Ogma. A lot of them you've met before too, right? When you were there, you spent time in the place of worship in Rena.
Yeah, that's true. The library. Yeah. So
Exactly.
maybe not, deeply acquainted with people, but certainly would know their faces or.
Yeah, exactly. You walked by them, maybe exchanged a pleasantry or something like that. But is the person that you're looking for anyone that you've met before?
I think, no. I think that I would maybe, upon seeing them, think, oh yeah, I saw that person at the library when I was there.
Yeah.
But I don't think we ever interacted.
Gotcha. Okay. So all the people that you've kind of met and stuff fall away, and now you're only really seeing basically complete strangers, except maybe that you've seen them.
Yeah.
And why don't you tell me a little bit about what this person does for a living? Like what is their day-to-day job?
I think their primary day-to-day is copying down information. So a scribe kind of thing. But who also wanders out to gather that information as well, and then kind of brings it back and then recounts the stories, and then distributes that knowledge out. So periods of adventure intermixed with long periods of kind of scholarship.
Okay, yeah. And as all these details start kind of coalescing, the number of images fall away, and it kind of goes from that 5 to 4 to 3. So why don't you tell me what the person looks like when you know it's the one? What are they and their name? So describe their physical appearance first, and then tell me what their name is.
The person is a tabaxi, who is a cat person from DnD. And so they're probably like 6'4", so they're quite tall, but very hunched, definitely used to spending most of their time hunched over on a desk, scribing and writing away. They have gray fur, or she has gray fur, and black stripes. But striking against that fur she has kind of golden orange yellow eyes with round pupils, which is unusual for her people.
yeah.
Usually they're slits. She's got black robes on, but you can see they're still kind of, even though they're black, you can kind of still see the grunginess and kind of stained nature of them. Clearly not a priority for this person.
Yep.
Yeah, just hunched over, furiously writing. And I think maybe somebody was nearby trying to coax this person into going out and helping with, maybe there's a situation outside the city. If they're in Renna now, maybe there's some sort of, there's another hippogriff or something like that that's in trouble.
Yeah.
But you can see that this person, it says, you know, no, I've done that already. I'm not interested in doing that again. I'm not going to help you. I already know what a hippogriff is, you know?
That's really quite cool. Oh yeah, because you said that they're kind of indifferent to suffering.
Yes, yeah.
And so yeah, the fact that it's still a suffering hippogriff or whatever that's in danger. The fact that they've already seen that, and that's knowledge they already kind of have, they're not interested again.
Yeah, exactly.
That's really cool. Okay. So I think, and what's their name?
Their name. So tabaxis have names like, rays of the sun and dew on the grass and things like that.
Yeah.
This person's name is Eye of the Tiger.
I love it.
Nice.
I love
nice.
that. I love that so
Amazing.
much. And so you have this setting where you kind of see this person kind of wave the crisis away, and then time slows down as the person is leaving. They slow way down. I don't even know if I recognizes that this is happening, because they're probably focused on their work. But sure enough, a portal opens up in front of them, and Lou too kind of looks at you, Lou, and says, "All right, do you think you can convince this person to literally kind of lay down their life to save the world?"
I think so. I think I can convince them to lay down their life to learn something new.
All right. If you think you can make it work, then by all means, step through and see if you can convince this person to help us.
I'll ask. And I'll step through the portal.
Yeah. Now this I gotta know. What is Eye of the Tiger's response to a portal opening up in front of them and a Lou walking through to greet them?
Eye of the Tiger, you can also shorten it to Tiger or Eye or whatever you like.
Sure.
I think it'd be like a kind of brief moment of shock, like just looking in surprise, and then getting way closer than you would think would happen. Just getting right up in there and really looking at the portal, like not really caring about any kind of danger, just really looking to see, what is this thing? What is this new thing that I'm seeing? And getting really close.
Yeah. Does Tiger have what's Tiger's teeth situation like?
Teeth situation?
I'm wondering, like,
That's a great point.
Now I kind of care less about Tiger's response. And what is Lou's response to a 6'4" cat person with, I can only assume, having, kind of sharp cat-like teeth, kind of getting in way too close? What the hell is Lou's reaction to this?
Definitely stiffens right up, ready to jump back through the portal if needed.
Yeah.
Yeah, no, definitely. Teeth are sharp. You can see the canines.
Yeah.
But nothing else. It's not like a saber tooth situation, but
Yeah,
definitely,
totally.
clearly, could do some damage with the teeth for sure.
Yeah. Wow. Yeah, that's kind of spooky, man. I gotta tell you, if a cat person,
I'd be alarmed too. Yeah.
right? That's kind of scary. With you'd expect somebody to be scared of that happening, and the fact that they would just rush right in, it's kind of spooky.
You're like, that can't be right.
Yeah. Okay. So what would be, and I mean, hey, listen, we got both kinds now. You can do the full conversational RP both ways and feel the pain of a DM, or you can just describe to me the kinds of things that Lou would say to convince Eye of the Tiger, and what would be their response.
Feel the pain. Feel the pain. Feel
Lou would say, what would you say to open that conversation? That's a real tough one, huh? Good day. Do you want to see something new? And I forgot my character's name. Tiger says, "Whoa, what is this? What do you mean?" And Lou says, so we've got a situation, and you have an opportunity to see something that no one really else has ever seen. Certainly not from your world." And I go on to explain that there's 5 worlds existing right now, and that we need somebody to go to this dangerous red world and take on this kind of impossible mission where you'll learn a great deal, but likely be in great peril along the way. But I think Lou would say that it's for a greater cause. It's gonna, but I think as she starts to say it, she kind of pulls back as she starts to lose Tiger. Like, that's not, I don't really care about that.
Yeah.
So really focusing in on the kind of bizarre nature of the red ink, how so little is known about it, and appealing to that sense of danger and curiosity.
Yeah, I mean, that makes a lot of sense. And I mean, I can only assume that Eye of the Tiger would be quite keen on going through the portal after that.
Yeah, I think so. Would there be any hesitation?
That's a good question. Yeah, what would the final moments look like? The final thing that technically won over Eye of the Tiger, what would be the response? Lou says the thing that Eye of the Tiger needed to hear. What would Eye's how would they go through the portal? Willingly, eagerly, tentatively?
I think the final argument would be appealing to the kind of devotion to Ogma, and saying that this is kind of a greater offering than you could ever give, staying here. And I think Tiger would take one last look back at the kind of unfinished papers she was working on, and then just charge through, possibly before Lou does.
I love that. And I think as Eye of the Tiger just kind of charges through the portal, there's this moment where you kind of hang back for just a second, and maybe you don't really know why. And you feel a very familiar sensation, and it feels exactly like the time that you hugged Ogma.
Oh!
And you feel this embrace of Ogma, just acknowledging and showing love for a follower that meant a lot to them.
What a great way to go into this next horrible chapter. We have a little comfort to go in with.
And step through the portal, and you see Lou too, a little bit taken aback at the fact that you brought a 6'4" cat person into the chamber, and that I assume Eye of the Tiger is probably interested in the things that they see in there, huh?
Deeply so. Does Lou have his goggles on?
No, he doesn't. He's lost the
That's
goggles.
still with, yes, it's all part of the gold key.
Yeah, exactly.
Okay,
yeah.
okay. Yeah, certainly looking very closely at the buildings.
Yes, exactly. Right. The floating buildings with the different colored kind of lights around them and stuff.
I think she'd go to put, kind of bat it with a paw hand.
Yeah.
Maybe Lou and the other Lou stop
Yeah.
her before she does that. don't do that.
Lou and Lou are both like, no, please. And then when they can finally get Eye of the Tiger kind of away from the buildings and towards the door, Lou too kind of follows you guys out into the bar, where now we see everyone assembled. We see giant fucking 10-foot tall melted meat mountain slump sitting next to the most well-dressed, badly dressed person you've ever seen, Rip Immersion, sitting next to Locke, who is just always so clean cut, prim and proper, sitting next to this guy who just like really looks like he rolled out of the gutter kind of thing. It has that kind of look of that was the bottom of the barrel he got scraped out of.
Can you describe him physically, what he looks like, what his hair color is, how tall is he washed, does he have facial hair?
Yeah. Locke, if you want to describe Sebastian a little bit.
Locke?
Sorry, my mic is acting all weird. I'm sorry about that.
No problem.
One more time.
Would you be able to describe what Sebastian looks like physically?
Pretty lanky. Like maybe slightly toned, but not necessarily because he's been working out in the raid, so to speak, but more that there's not a lot of meat on him, that type of deal. I guess lean, or I guess he's more lean than what I said previously, but it looks like skeleton with some meat on it, like almost he's been slightly what's it called, not decimated, but emaciated. Yeah.
And what color hair, how long, facial hair, grimace, scars?
Dark, I'd say dark brown hair, pretty long, pretty scraggly, unkempt, short beard, kind of on the shorter side, blue eyes, and well, obviously reeks of filth.
And what was his motivation? What was like his driving motivator?
Survival.
Got it, Raj.
And then sitting next to Sebastian, looking real rough, is short little Galdrick, looking pretty good. Maybe not quite as good as the man he's sitting next to, Bishop Kane.
Okay.
I'm just saying, Bishop Kane.
He's just taller.
But I don't know. He puts a little bit more time. I feel like he puts a little bit more time and effort into his into his.
I've been fighting and defending the world. Okay, he had to go to court. Okay, there's a big difference.
Sitting next to Lou, just covered in the layers of scarves and dresses and tassels. Sitting next to a 6'4" cat person, which I don't think anybody else is probably handling very well. I can only imagine that, especially Bishop, Sebastian, and Rippy, I don't know that they've ever considered the existence of a fucking ambulatory bipedal 6'4" gray furred black streaked fucking cat person before who probably has absolutely no sense of personal space as they're looking around. And this is the party that's going to I guess save the universe here.
Yep.
Its existence, basically. Yeah.
Where's that song? It is there it is. Okay. And with that, Lutu kind of steps up and says, all right, so you've all had some time to kind of meet each other a little bit, probably find out way too much information, and at the same time, not nearly enough information. But unfortunately, time is very severely against us at this point. So I'm going to tell you what you need to know. And then I'm going to kind of send you off. And you're just going to have to make do. So I'll talk for a bit. I'll answer a very few questions. And then it'll be go time. Where you will be going is a place that we call the Red Ink. That's just the name we have for it. And we know very little about this place. We know some of the fundamentals, but we don't know names. We don't know people. We don't know the details of the systems, but I'll tell you what I do know. The person that we're fighting against so hard is a person named Volos. He basically rules the Red Ink. He has constructed a pyramid-like structure, sociopolitically speaking, with him at the very top, and everyone below him is both indebted to him and fearful of his power. And let me tell you, I cannot stress enough just how much power that is. The world you'll be going to consists of industrial megacities where common folk are worked to death. They suffer a society that profits from their agony. They mill about in barely adequate cluster living. They work long hours at jobs that have literally no point. And antagonism within the society is highly encouraged and sparked from the higher ups. They're paid just enough to survive. And when they try to band together to overthrow their companies, they're either exiled to the dangerous wilds outside the cities, or else they are straight up killed by their employers, as the employers have the actual ability to mutate into horrific monsters at will. Speaking of mutations, people will randomly come upon, we can only call it the change. And it starts with abdominal pains. It ends with the person transforming into some sort of beastly, mindless monster. Sometimes they try to suppress it and they transform in the city. When that happens, they're often killed by the more sentient monsters that run the cities. And rarely they're driven off into the wilds that surround the cities so they can just live in the wilds and become dangers. Sometimes, if the person knows they're going to transform, they will willingly leave the city and transform out in the wilds. Very rarely, and without any rhyme or reason that we can discern, someone undergoing the change will be selected by the higher-ups and brought to Volos and the council. And if they are deemed worthy by Volos, he uses his powers to manipulate the change in such a way that the person can change into and back from their monster state at will. And at this point, they're known as the Ascended, and they become the elite of the Red Ink. They no longer need to work the usual grind. They can take whatever they want. They can do whatever they want. And they're put in charge of the companies. They owe a favor to Volos, and their only instruction is to ensure the complete and utter oppression and suppression of the employees. Lenience or fail to do as they're tasked inevitably results in Volos and the council removing their sentience, forcing them into a state of mindless beast, and exiling them to the wilds. Now, you four, you new four, you will need to enter the world. I don't know how, but you'll need to find a way to climb the ladder into Volos's good books. You'll need to somehow become an ascended, locate a cube that Volos uses to draw the power of the planar keys, destroy the cube, discover any backup plans that he has, and destroy those as well. And you four have been chosen because you seem the best suited at manipulating systems such as the one that Volos has constructed and having success. The caveat to this is that it's a one-way trip. There's no coming back after this. Chances are very good that you'll die at some point. I can only imagine, after ruining Volos's plans, that you are in for not only a death, but probably an unpleasant one. And there'll be no way to come back here.
Okay, this isn't helping.
I need these four to understand that self-preservation cannot be an end goal of this mission. Do what you need to do, survive how you need to survive, and I don't want to think about what that means, but the end of the mission has to be destruction of Volos's plans. Now, the process of becoming ascended probably comes with quite a bit of luxury, quite a bit of success, quite a bit of happiness. You will likely enjoy spoils the like of which you could never imagine for a time. And the goal can't be to stop there. If you don't stop Volos, he will run everything, and you will no longer have control of your lives. He'll take over, and your fate, your destiny, will be what he makes it, and you won't have a choice, and you won't even know why. The failure of this mission is far worse than any death Volos could give to you. So the death by Volos's hands, as unpleasant as it could be,
Why does he keep saying
isn't
death?
even remotely as bad as life with him winning. And I need you to understand that.
But it's not completely certain that you're gonna die. By the way,
He's just wanting to give you a worst case scenario, but it's really,
Yeah.
I mean, there's a good chance you'll be fine, honestly.
Yeah, good, just make it to the rendezvous.
It's probably gonna be okay.
Just make it to the rendezvous.
Yeah, make it to the rendezvous point. You'll be fine.
You'll be
Let's just
perfectly
teleport
fine.
you right back. It's okay.
Yeah,
We've done this a million
just make
times
it to the
before.
rendezvous.
He's just making it. He's paid to make it sound negative. It's like a safety
Yeah.
guy. Hallelujah, jokester. Motherfucker.
Why do we keep hiring him?
Oh my god.
So morbid.
God.
All right, with that, it's kind of time to take your mission and head forward. Are there questions?
Yes. Do I need to roll any stats?
Wouldn't worry about that quite yet.
Oh, all right.
The process of stepping through into another ink it's gonna change you a little bit.
What do you mean?
Well, your body's going to change, and your mind is going to kind of change, and you'll be able to do things that you've never been able to do before.
Oh, all
but
right.
you'll probably also be unable
Like
to do some of the.
crochet? I
Well,
could never figure out those damn hooks.
there's a chance. I can't say no. You might be able to crochet when you walk through.
Good.
I'm talking a little bit about more like you might be able to wield magic. Or
I already do. I kind of like want to point to his. He points to his mind.
He's talking about his brain.
all right, I can see why you think-
You'd be amazed at some of the things I pulled off in court.
I
People
doubt
have
that.
Called them magical for days.
I strongly doubt. I've been around for a while. I've seen most things. Now,
Right.
So you'll change, and one positive thing is that your will actually affects the change a little bit. So if you really want to learn how to crochet, if you think about it a lot when you go through the portal, you'll probably be able to crochet on the other side.
Careful now. So what if someone were to go through the portal really thinking about reshaping the universe in their image?
Well,
Thinking about it.
then they'd probably really still look like themselves when they went the other side.
Oh, okay.
You really can only change yourself, not really the things around it. And kind of only to a degree. I mean, you'll see when you go through. It's kind of an experience, and you're kind of like Flubber when you come out the other side for a little bit. Any questions?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Would you
What
be
is-
able to explain what the fuck is flubber?
Okay, I was gonna ask.
Why
his
is he
name.
way in the
Oh.
back?
I don't.
What?
Rippy, you can.
I-
You just move up closer. You
You
don't.
can come over here.
No,
Stop hiding behind the bar.
I wasn't putting the silverware in me pants. It was someone else.
You.
It
Oh
wasn't me.
Jesus! You.
Somebody
you can
else
keep
was
it.
putting the
You can keep
silverware in
it.
his pants. I didn't do it though. Wasn't me.
Okay. Either
Right,
way.
fine.
Oh, it happened. Get over here.
Fine. Right. What's flubber?
It's a movie from the '90s.
Fuck's
yes,
the
the,
90s.
Don't worry about it. It's different.
All
Different
right.
ink, anyways. Doesn't
Okay.
matter.
All right, so you'll just be a little bit wiggly when you get over there,
Ah, okay.
and then you'll harden up.
Oh, no worries there, mate.
Yeah, you
Rippy's
know-
always rock hard.
Oh my God.
I had a feeling you might make some kind of joke. You look like the kind of person who'd make a joke like that.
Yes, he does.
You want to see what happens when
Um,
you pull me finger?
So, all right, if the only question was about Flubber, then I suppose you're probably ready to go through. Or any other questions?
Yeah, we just need to know what the rendezvous is.
Oh,
We'll contact you. You'll see. You'll know.
all right.
all right. So if there's no other questions, some information is top secret until critical times, such as some things that may have already been asked, like that one maybe,
But the rendezvous. All right, good.
something like that. Yeah. Any other questions?
What are you waiting for?
I mean, I'm ready to go right. Well, does the gravity situation really affect you?
It's pretty much
Yeah.
we got to go in here, do some sort of corporate sabotage, and then make it out. It seems pretty simple.
Oi, question for you, bruv.
And he kind of leans in and sort of puts an elbow. So Rippy, in addition to having that white suit, he's sort of an average height. Looks like he's somewhere 30s, 40s ish of age. He's kind of got a bit of a pudgy face, and he's got kind of greasy businessman hair. Like it's like a few inches long, and it's like always permanently greasy. And he's always taking off his top hat and like running his hands through his dark brown, greasy
Yeah.
fucking hair. And then
Yeah.
putting his hat back on and like looking at his fingernails and sticking his hand out with his cane in one hand. So he's sort of leaning on Lou too, and then on his with his cane on the other hand, and sort of looking at his hands.
Just a question, You scratch my back, I scratch your back. Question for you, bruv. If I were to say, have some community service hours that I wanted to disappear, What do you think there, friendo? You make her go bye-bye?
I tell you what,
All right.
do you agree to this? And I'll promise you'll not have to do 1 second of that community service.
He's like looking around, gesturing to the rest of the group and pointing at him.
This bloke, he's got to take away all my community service hours. All I got to do is go in there, live the piss posh little spot of torture. All right.
And then he just like walks away and joins the rest of the group, just looking on like he has an idea of what the fuck is happening.
Okay. And with that, Lou too pulls out one last coin and holds it in the air and says, all right, I don't know where you'll end up. I don't know who you'll see. So good luck. And he opens up a big red portal. He says, when you're ready. But now would be great, though.
Okay. Galdrick starts to walk.
Slump grabs him by like the head to stop him from walking.
Don't squish my head, I'm not a
I think Rippy, just like whistling a tune and with sort of a vacant smile, twirling his cane, walks through the portal. And you can't tell if it's because he's sure that he's going to be fine or he just doesn't understand what he's getting himself into. But he looks like he has no care in the world.
All right, yeah.
I guess Kane would look back and just be like, all right, well, as long as it's fun. I'll just slowly walk through the portal.
Yep.
Eye of the tiger will look at Lou and just slowly push a glass of milk off the table before getting up. Just cup jack the whole time, pushes the water
Oh
off,
my god.
and then gets up and goes through the portal.
Just fucking unbroken eye contact. Fucking wow. All right.
Fucking awesome.
That's amazing. All right, and Sebastian, how does Sebastian handle this?
I think Sebastian's just kind of weirdly eyeing everyone. Like,
Yeah.
they've been made the same deal. So, okay, that's good. But he's just, I think he's just a little paranoid from just his nature. So I'd say he walks through the portal, but he kind of keeps to himself. He keeps a little quiet. He's got a nice meal in his gut and some alcohol in his veins, so
Yeah.
probably not nearly as uptight as he would normally be, but
Yeah.
He's definitely still kind of like running on survival instincts. But I would say he probably like takes a bottle of whiskey from the bar
Yeah.
and is just like sipping at it as he walks through the portal with the rest of them.
That
It's
makes a lot of sense.
It's his per diem for the first day. Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. And the team of the Expendables enters into the final ink. Did that work? There we go.
Hearing chimes, yeah.
And I'm actually going to change your names in Discord so that you match your new names. Change nickname to Bishop Kane, Kine,
Kane.
Kane. Bishop Kane. I think I can probably figure out the spelling for Eye of the Tiger.
It's complicated.
Now, Rippy, Rippy,
Bingo.
and then Mersion.
Bingo, common spelling.
Perfect. Yeah. Sebastian. Volt with a V, right?
Mm-hmm.
Perfect. There we go. New names. That's gonna freak people out when if they step away or they missed last episode or something like that, and they come in and everybody's got new names. What the fuck happened to the party?
They're all dead.
All done.
They're all dead. Okay. I have the Tiger. Would you like to be called I or Tiger?
Oh, I think Tiger would be less confusing.
I agree. I think there's a lot of fun we can have with I on the who's on first
I
kind
was
of thing.
just literally gonna say who's on
Yeah.
first. Also, yeah.
Yeah, but I think that would be a nightmare after being only mildly funny once. So
Yeah, exactly.
I think Tiger makes a lot of sense. Okay, so Bishop, Tiger, Rippy, and Sebastian. As you step through the portal, the first thing that happens, overwhelming stomach pain.
What?
Uh-oh.
It is the first sign of the change, and it happens as soon as you step through.
Fuck.
It just feels really, really bad. It's like an overwhelming stomach ache where like you don't even think you're gonna throw up. It feels like something's gonna like rip out your guts or something. It feels really bad, but then it kind of passes. And you know it happened, but other than that, there's no lingering effects.
Have we changed at all, or that's just a sign? That's just something that happened.
Yep.
And we're not fully different. Okay.
That's right. Nope. It happened. And from what you've been told, you know that is a sign of the change. For all you know, that might have literally just been a traveling through the portal kind of pain. But it felt kind of weird, and you kind of feel like that might be the starting of the change.
Rippy would take off his top hat and like wipe some newly appearing sweat from his brow.
Yeah.
And sort of looking around at the rest of the party would say,
Oi, any of the rest of you feel that?
and then while rubbing his stomach would like look around at the sights to behold and say,
Maybe you just need to take a shit.
while sort of idly taking in the horizon, just speculating.
Okay. Just gonna write this down. Why don't we talk about the classes that you chose for these guys? The class is not going to come into play right now, but this is just for so in case anybody wants to look it up or know what it is, and especially so I can write it down so I know what the fuck. So Bishop, what class did you choose for Bishop Kane?
The investigator.
Investigator. Okay, perfect. Do you know anything about what the investigator is, or did you just pick it?
Oh, I got the thing. So yeah.
Oh, nice. So what are some of the aspects of the investigator?
So pretty much that's they're exactly what they sound like. They're an investigator. They use their mind to hold on. I can read you like the one off.
Yeah, that'd be perfect.
I gotta find it. Hold on, give me a second. Hold on. Shut up. Shut up. I can find it. Give me a second. Just shut up. Hold on.
Do I still need to shut up?
No, shut up. I'm almost there. Okay.
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 Still.
Shut up! Investigators are exactly what their name suggests. They excel at searching for clues, finding patterns, profiling, and dealing with those they seek.
Perfect. Yeah, I mean, investigator does exactly what it sounds like. Sounds perfect.
Yeah.
Okay. Tiger, what class did you choose?
I've chosen the Knowledge Eater, which is I think it's like a one-off. Somebody non dungeon worldy made it, but they can eat memories and information out of other people's heads if I can get a hold of them, and I'll eat like pages of a book, either by reading it or like physically eating the pages, and be able to use power that way by kind of expelling it back out.
I have the tiger. Might be one of the most fucked up scary characters I think I've ever fucking met. A 6'4" fucking cat person with human eyes who eats knowledge and memories.
What's the class called?
Knowledge Eater.
Jesus, man, that's fucking terrifying. What the fuck?
Yay!
Jesus.
Oh my god.
I love it.
Okay.
I mean, I was about to say, like, the class is scary, but you've played Final Fantasy, right?
That's true. Yeah. Okay, Rippy, which class did you choose?
I chose the charlatan.
Oh.
Yeah. And it's pretty fucking perfect because the whole thing is basically basically a snake oil salesman. The whole thing is basically being a con artist, sleight of hand. I have a bag of tricks that has quote unquote contains various props such as magic wands, powders that change the color of fire and smoke, crystals, tarot cards. I also, as long as I have my bag of tricks on me, I have a supply of the following items: flash paper to create a quick burst of bright flame, which blinds an enemy for 30 seconds. Smoke bombs to fill an area roughly the size of a small room with thick smoke, meaning that creatures in the affected area can only see 2 feet in front of them. Fireworks.
Jeez.
Cherry bombs that can be thrown, which do 1d10 damage.
What the fuck? Wait, what the fuck? That's like as hard as a barbarian hits, man.
Yeah. I also get rockets, which take 1 minute to set up, but do 2d6 damage and follow an erratic path. So I take -1 to all volley rolls.
Shit.
And then I also get some pretty fucking cool things like patent medicine, reverses baldness, improves your sex appeal, cures all diseases of the body and mind, guaranteed. It'll fix your asthma too. Okay, maybe not, but it does heal 1d4 plus your level in hit points, and you can make 2 doses per day.
What the fuck?
Yeah.
I'm gonna go pick a new class. I'll be right back.
Yeah, what the
I love some of the little flavor
I just
abilities.
found one called the Charlatan. It looks real cool.
I found it, and I love the ability Fortune Teller. When you tell a mark their future, roll plus charisma. On a 10+, they will believe you and act as if that is their fate until your prediction is proven wrong or you're shown to be a fraud. On a 7 to 9, you're still successful, but the mark will be suspicious and look for reasons to disbelieve you. So
my god, that's so fucking cool, man.
Yeah, dude. So I'm pretty fucking excited. So that's basically what that's what I'm looking for.
Yeah.
I think I can do the charlatan.
Man. Okay. Perfect. Sebastian, which class did you choose?
I chose the Failed Arcanist.
Hey,
That
perfect.
makes so much sense. Failed Arcanist. What's tell me a little bit about that thing.
Well, I'm gonna send you the PDF real quick.
Perfect.
I'll put it in the main channel. But I love it because it's like a wizard trying to be a wizard, but he's not really a wizard. Like there's things called like laughing stock of the wizarding world. You only learn through failure. I'm a real wizard now. You know that. And the abilities are basically like, I've always wanted to try this. Fail safe wards. I got this under control. I summoned something I shouldn't have. I love these spell names.
Oh my god.
But laughing stock of the wizarding world, you have dreamed of being a spellcaster ever since the earliest days of your youth. When you came of age, you were accepted to a magical teaching institution. However, your dreams weren't enough to traverse the demanding road of becoming a true spellcaster. You dropped out of your training, heading into the world with only a partial control of the myriad of spells you were taught, mastering none of them. All the spellcasters consider you their lesser and cannot bring themselves to take you seriously.
Oh my god!
Holy fuck.
Holy shit!
It's so harsh.
You guys did such good jobs with these fucking classes, man.
Listen,
I
can
really.
Go ahead, go ahead, go ahead.
No, I'm just saying I really, really love the name of this ability or advanced move. I summoned something I shouldn't have.
Oh
When-
no!
Whenever you roll a 7+4, I know a spell. You can choose to ignore the cost, risk, or consequence that the GM names. If you do, the GM can select any monster from the rulebook or one that they have created. You accidentally summon this creature. The GM will tell you how the creature acts, but likely it will want to ruin the thoughtless idiot who called it away from its home.
Oh my god!
Fucking
That is
awesome.
so good. Wow, this.
Well, I hate you, so everyone else is like, "That's so cool. Go fuck yourself." Well, you are actively going against us.
Oh my god, this is going to be quite a fucking insane arc. Holy shit, these things are bizarre.
So I wanted to tell you that since everyone else has cool names, I wanted to tell you my favorite cool name that I have for my spell.
Yeah.
Ooh.
You're gonna hate it, actually.
What is it?
It's called I Know a Guy.
God. Okay, what the fuck does that do?
You know where to find people who know things, or people who know things. When you spout lore on a miss, you know from where or who to get the information from you need. The GM will tell you from who or where to get it.
That's bullshit.
That is super
You
powerful.
don't have that ability. Yeah, I'm
It
fucking homebrewing
it's-
it. You don't have
yeah.
that shit.
Nope,
That's
I have
way
it.
too
Fuck
fucking
you.
strong.
Nope.
Oh my god. That's fucking busted though. What the hell? I think it's good though. I think with the world set up as it is, especially with like the people who know things are ascended, right? Like they're fucking monsters and you're not allowed to talk to them. So knowing who to talk to is only quite so helpful, right? Because you can't just go talk to them. So I actually think that's super balanced with the world that I have created. I actually really like that, even though I definitely do also hate it.
Listen, I've never abused any of my abilities, minus the maybe walking through a wall once or twice, but that was also for comical reasons. Thank you very much. Okay.
Yeah, no, you've actually done really good with that. Not
I have a spell
trying
that's
to break
called
the
Come
game.
Along, Watson.
Oh God, what does that do?
I don't fucking know. I just picked it because of the name. I was like, that looks like it'll work.
What does Come Along Watson do?
You have taken someone under your wing to aid in your investigations. Treat your companions as your character, but with access to only the basic moves. Your companion has a +2 modifier to one stat and a +1 modifier to all other stats, half of your maximum HP, and uses your damage die. In addition, you have 3 points to distribute among your companion's attributes of inspect, interrogate, and research. When you work with your companion on examining a scene, add their inspect to your roll. Ask questions or intimidate someone, add their interrogate to your roll. Or gather information or recalling some obscure lore, add their research to your roll.
Holy fuck! You're really like outside of combat. It's gonna be fucking hard to fucking bamboozle you with the fucking bonuses and shit. I love it though. No, that's good. That's gonna.
Yeah, he uses all sorts of weird stuff. Like apparently, my main stat is guile, which is like it's like a. I guess we'll have to sit down and like figure this all out. But yeah. He rolls guile instead of charisma or something like that, and it's guile is this plus this or something like that.
Gotcha. Okay. Yeah. We'll after the session, I will grab all these playbooks from you guys and make sure that I design upcoming encounters with them in mind. I don't have to worry about the current ones though, because you guys are still basically the nobodies that you came in as. You actually have no powers right now.
Oh, uh-oh.
You have no
Oh.
spells. Your stats are basically just basic nothing. You have no weapons, you have no tools, you have no nothing. The entry into this world has basically stripped you of everything. Sebastian still has his whiskey, but that's about it. So don't worry too much about your skills and abilities. You have none for right now. Don't worry, the change will take care of that though, but it may come with one or two little drawbacks as well. So now that we know your characters a little bit, you have stepped through the portal and it is nighttime. Darkness envelops the world, but there are large street lamps that illuminate the quiet street that you find yourselves on. There are large weeping willows that kind of lean over the sidewalk, and there are a few clouds drifting in front of the large full moon. And as you kind of look around your surroundings, you notice that you are in front of a giant wrought iron gate, black iron that is easily 12 feet tall, that has spikes on the top. Beyond the gate is a huge mansion made of deep brown wood and deep red brick with these conical spires that reach high up into the sky. The windows are all dark with curtains covering them, and you see a swarm of bats kind of swoop out from an alcove and swirl around the spires and silhouette against the moon before disappearing into the night. And on the gate, you see a small intercom. And it's kind of anachronistic because it looks like this is like a medieval mansion with medieval, no, maybe not medieval, but, you know, Victorian gate, Victorian giant estate kind of thing. And then there's a very modern, very electronic intercom that is connected to a very technical looking locking system that is keeping the gate closed. And you see that there is an envelope on top of the intercom. What would you guys like to do?
Can I ask a quick question first?
Yeah.
So are we, we're all still in our bodies that we came with?
Yeah.
Is that going to cause a problem? I guess we don't know. Did anybody know before we left? Were you saying that there are monsters that are good? Like, is the cat person thing going to be an issue? Should I put on a hood?
You don't know. You know that some people transform into monsters at will, but as for like cat people and stuff, you actually don't know if they're common here.
Okay, let's just play it and see. Folks, I don't know if people are going to be okay with this whole thing. So maybe is there a camera on this gate?
Oh, is there a camera?
You can just be a pet,
Okay.
like a seeing eye dog or a cat or whatever.
I don't love that.
Right, is
We'll
this
make it
what
work.
you were looking for? And I think Rippy would go up and grab the envelope. Now, did we get the impression from anyone who gave us any instruction? Do we get the impression that this is a super tricky realm? Like everything's a pitfall, everything's a trap? Or is it just sort of the crushing weight of the oppression of Volos like 1984?
It's more the crushing weight and just grind you down and fear of reprisal kind of thing. Like if you step out of line, they'll kill you.
Sure.
It's not that, you know, everything is a deception and an illusion and all that stuff. It's more that if you're told to do something, or if you know you're supposed to do something, you have to do it. And if you don't, big consequences.
Okay. Yeah, so I think Rippy would go up and just grab the envelope.
Yep.
What does it say on it?
It says it has like a big calligraphy Y on the front, like the letter Y on the front.
It's got to stand for yes, right?
Oi.
You should open it.
Any of you names start with the letter Y? How about you, Sebastian?
Did you?
Are you really?
Oh, look at who's gone to school, got his big self-help book learning college words. Just because some of us ain't afforded to go to a post-secondary education, isn't it, bruv?
Right. And then you just open the envelope.
Okay. You open the envelope and there is a letter inside. They're like a folded piece of paper.
Aye, seems to be some sort of letter. What do you think? I should read it to you?
Can you read?
Of course I can.
All right, here you go. And he just give it to Bishop Kane.
All right, this is gonna be fun.
You know what? I'm gonna do it this way. You know what? Here, I'm gonna DM you.
Okay.
What the letter says,
All right.
and make sure there's no fucking DM notes in there.
And then the monster springs out from behind
right,
the gate.
Exactly, right? Yeah. Okay, there you go, Vin.
All right, well, this doesn't make very much sense. Roar is the sound of my Sandblaster 9000. I'm gonna take your water and leave you to die for no reason other than cooperation is evil, and I must kill to feel anything since my wife left me for a cactus dude just because he has a sustainable
Sounds like
income
we shouldn't be
and
reading
sharp
this.
business acumen.
Damn it! Scroll down. Oh god.
Oh fuck! You're never
But
gonna live
also
that down.
mushy like an awful texture. Fuck bananas. Oh, this isn't it. Hold on. This is on the back side. My bad. Our special guests will not be arriving today. My apologies for the last minute notice, as I am sure you have made all the preparations already, but they are not needed. You will be informed the next time we have a special guests ready. But for now, just continue as you were. Signed, M.
Sounds like we're the special guests now.
What do you think that for? You feel special?
Probably a birthday party.
Could be a birthday party. Is it your birthday?
No.
There
Is
you
it
go.
yours?
No. What about you, pussycat?
They haven't read the letter yet. I feel special enough to rip that letter up and just take the
Oh.
place of whoever that guest was going to be.
Well,
Could do that, but who's M?
who's why? Is that whose house this is, you think? Should we give her a knock and find out?
There's only one way to find out. I'll start knocking.
On the wrought iron gate.
Press the button.
Oh yeah, that's what I meant.
There's an intercom right here.
That's
You
what
have
I mean. That's what I mean. That's what I
You knocking on the intercom. Hello.
You knock on the
You also
intercom.
knock on the telephone, eh?
I'll knock on the buzzer button. Did I do it right?
And nothing happens for maybe 20 seconds.
I guess not. No, I don't think you did do it right.
Oh, I'll do it again.
Hernando? Hernando, there's someone on the intercom. Hernando, can you answer the intercom for me?
I just stay quiet.
Fernando?
I can't tell if he's saying Fernando.
Fernando?
Is he saying Fernando?
Vampires don't answer the intercom.
Oh shit, it's a vampire.
Fernando? All right, I'll answer the... Oh, hello? Hello? Is somebody... Are you at the intercom? How you going, love?
Oh fuck.
Why don't you stop being a cunt? Come down here and let us in, eh? Are you, Are you the special guests?
No, no,
no,
we are not. No,
What-
we're not the special
what you
guests.
think,
We're
we're the special
we're the
guests?
house cleaners.
Oh, the house cleaners, right?
House cleaners.
Uh,
Just say house
No,
cleaners.
we're not the special guests. We're the house cleaners. Here to clean your house. Fernando, did you order the house cleaners? Yes. Did you just... What? What? Did you answer? Hold on. Okay. I don't understand the way... Right, go ahead. At the intercom, yep. I'm going to... Yes, Fernando, answer the gate. Yes, I ordered them. All right. Is that you, Fernando? I don't think you sound like that.
I think it's working.
All right, we'll wait here at the gate. Okay. All right, I'll come let you in. Okay, smoochies. Mwah, mwah. That's weird.
I'm getting a very what we do under the shadows or what the fuck that show's
Yeah,
called.
yeah.
Right now.
Perfect.
Very much a Nandor from What We Do in the Shadows kind of character.
That show is beyond ridiculous, but I love
I
it.
love it so much.
Good. It's so good. And then I think probably like 5 minutes pass. And then 10 minutes pass if you guys just standing there. And then this man with flowing golden locks all the way down to his shoulders comes kind of strutting down this cobblestone pathway towards the gate. He's dressed in just a ridiculous, over-the-top, poofy, baggy Victorian clothing. And his face is powdered with just a little bit of blush on the cheeks. And he comes up to the gate. He says, hello? Are you sure you're not the special guests?
How you going, bruv? Why don't you just go ahead and describe what this special guest looks like?
I can't tell if this is a test. Is this part of the test?
Well, if we told you, it wouldn't be much of a test now, would it?
That's a
You
good
trying to skirt
point.
around the outside, eh?
That's a good point. Fernando should be the one answering the door. This is why. Of course you're the special guests.
No, that's
Wrong.
not.
Right.
We're here to clean.
Oh, here to clean.
I get
We're here to
it.
clean
I
for the
know.
special guests.
I know what you're here for, to clean. And he winks like a giant wink.
Right, is he?
Of course.
Has he got
of
something
course.
wrong with his eye?
And I'm sure after you've cleaned,
All right. Well, that's.
I'm sure everything will be just fine. You'll see I'm doing a great job. And Fernando has been dropping the ball, but I'm probably going to kill him. So don't worry about anything. Come on in. And he starts undoing all the locks and pressing some buttons. And he kind of like throws the chain over, and it kind of makes the knot worse. And he starts like trying to pull the chain through. And he pinches his fingers. Ow, fucking shit. Fucking Fernando should be doing this.
You
Vampires
okay?
don't open the doors. No, I've got it. It's fine.
You need some help there, bruv.
No, I need Fernando. I
Rippy
need
can help you.
Fernando, who's not at the door.
Here, allow Rippy to give you an hand.
And can I have Rippy go up to try to use his charlatan ways, and if he has any whatsoever, to try to like use some lock picking know-how or whatever, general lock picking thievery fuckery to try to help out with the lock? Because the point being that he's trying to ingratiate himself with what is ostensibly a powerful person, at least more powerful than Fernando.
Yeah. Okay. Let's see. So we're gonna play with some pretty flubbery stats at the start here.
Yeah, of course.
And you know, like the charlatan is just barely coming to life within you as you've stepped through. You're a clever guy anyways. So what I'll do is, why don't you roll 2d6 plus let's give you a +2 because this is a skill that you've kind of already had a little bit.
Double natty
So-
6.
Wow, double nat 6 and a +2. You've rolled a fucking 14 for the first roll of the fucking arc.
Sounds good to
Give
me.
me back my dice.
I know, right? Holy fuck. And so I think like it's so deft. It's like you help him in such a way that like your hands are kind of darting in and out between the chains and around the chains and pressing the buttons and holding this thing and that thing that it looks like he's kind of doing it all, but you're making it easy for him to do it.
Sure.
And as he's done, he kind of looks at you with like this big genuine smile on his face, like, thank you.
I don't mention it, bruv. Happy to help.
Not what I expected from the special guests. That won't go on my record, right? The fact that you had to help?
We'll see.
All right, don't like that very much, but don't worry. Everything's going to be fine when we get inside. You're going to love it, except some of the places where Fernando dropped the ball, but don't worry, I'm probably going to kill him. Everything's fine.
Okay.
This
How
record you mentioned, do you have anything else on it?
Wouldn't
You should probably.
you know that?
Well,
Of course we know that, but ain't you supposed to be honest with us, eh?
ain't you?
Of course. And I think it's a pretty clean record. Except for maybe one thing on there, but I'm pretty sure I was forgiven for that. So I think everything should be fine.
Very good.
Excellent.
All right.
I want to take out a notepad and just like jot it down.
And he kind of takes a giant, like overly ornate handkerchief with just so much kind of extra stitching on it. And it's got a big Y stitched into the front. And it's got lots of frills and lace on the sides, and he kind of dabs his forehead as he kind of takes a glance at you jotting something down.
I don't say anything. I'm just like the social worker that just writes down in the background.
Yeah,
That's
exactly.
my
Yeah.
book, and ever so slightly put it in my inside jacket pocket.
And he kind of bows and extends his hand towards the house, and he says, all right, well, I mean, you already know my name is Yerby, and I'm here to
Oh my
God.
Of course.
show you around the house a little bit.
I hate you because my initial instinct was we were gonna have to kill this person, and now you just said that he's gonna live forever.
Forever this one's gonna live.
And he's like, oh, I should ask, of course, are any of you vampires?
Not yet.
Well,
No, not me.
pretty sure one of us has got fangs.
And he's doing the thing where he's like leaning on the guy's shoulder and like pointing at the cow and stuff.
Wait, is that person a cat?
What?
Wait.
No, come on. Come on, then.
I smile real big and say, "Did you just ask if I'm a cat?"
No, of course not. I would never be so rude
And forward.
and forward.
And forward.
And you are incredibly sorry if you offended my friend, right?
And I'm incredibly sorry if I offended you. Not my
I take out
intention.
my book. I take out my book and write it again.
It was a joke. It was a joke.
Very good.
Very funny.
good. That's a funny joke.
That's a very funny joke. Okay. I've just never seen someone in their monster form all the time. But I guess, you know what? It's not my place to question, and you just do your thing. But if anyone's a vampire, I can, of course, invite you into the house so you can actually come in.
You want to know a secret?
I'd love to know a secret.
My friend here is an enforcer. That's why they're in their monster form. So, you know, this is pretty serious.
What?
So take it seriously.
I am very sorry. I didn't realize you'd bring in Is that a bad sign?
No. It. I guess the best way to put it is like, if it goes bad, we'll be prepared.
Not going to go bad here.
Excellent. Then you have
everything's
nothing to worry about. Okay, let's
perfect.
go inside.
Great. Okay, we'll go inside. I mean, just to cover the bases, if I could get your names, I'll invite you all in by name. Make sure I won't presume whether you're vampires or not. Please come in. And he points at you, Bishop.
Bishop.
Please come into my abode, Bishop. And please come into my abode. He points at you, Eye of the Tiger.
Tiger.
Please come into my abode, Tiger. And you, he looks at you, Rippy.
I think Rippy takes off his top hat, and you can hear the as he slides his hand through his hair, and then as the guy's like gesturing in, he like grabs his hand in a really with sloppy handshake. Aye, Rippy there, bruv, Rippy.
Please come into my abode, Rippy. And you, my fine astute gentleman, who's so very helpful to making sure that I don't screw it up.
I think he's been on this. He's been holding this handle of whiskey for a while now, so I think he's a little sauced up. And after hearing Bishop's name, I think he goes, Knight. Name's Knight.
Please enter my abode, Knight. Thank you very much. I shouldn't presume whether you're vampires or not. That was very rude of me. This is my humble home, and it's got different music than outside. And there we go. It's very spooky, very spooky house.
It's nice.
Very oppressive. I make sure that if I bring people in here, they're not very happy. Unless it's Fernando. I don't know where you're hiding, but we've got the special guests here, and you're being very rude. Oh, I killed Fernando.
What do you mean you killed Fernando? What was all that about out there? You're gonna kill Fernando and screaming after him and all the rest.
I forgot I killed Fernando last week.
I get my
Oh
book out of here.
no.
Well, for
Start
goodness
writing in it
sake.
for a third
I was
time.
supposed to get a replacement, but I forgot. Oh, I miss Fernando. He was so good. He was
Then
such a
why
good-
did you kill him?
He was useless. Couldn't do anything. Couldn't do anything. I asked him one thing: bring me dinner every night, and he couldn't. Or maybe he did. I don't remember. But I killed him. And well, you're not going to meet Fernando because I guess he's dead. And that makes sense why none of the rooms are being cleaned. Okay. Some of the rooms are going to be dirty because I thought Fernando was cleaning them, but I forgot he was dead. So just forget that. Would you like a tour of the mansion?
Yes.
Obviously.
Of course, yes.
Sure.
Perfect. Okay, so, and he starts like walking down the main hallway, opens up a door. This one is an empty bedroom, and it's a little bit dirty, but that's okay. It's very good. And this one next to it is another empty bedroom.
Is it just you in this house?
No, it's me and my familiar Fernando. It's just the two of us, and then sometimes we have some other people who come in when we need to torture them or kill them or something like that.
The dead Fernando?
I don't think he's dead. Oh, yeah, that's right. I killed him last week.
This guy.
Yeah, so I guess it's just me and the people that I'm Oh, Fernando was supposed to feed them. They're probably dead.
Oh.
Okay. I've got to get this Fernando situation figured out. But yeah, no, just us. This room over here is a kitchen. Oh, no, it's another empty bedroom. We've got a lot of. Do you want to see all the empty bedrooms?
Yes.
Yes, each.
All right. Perfect. And here we have the master bedroom. This was Fernando's room.
Perfect.
Oh,
And I think he lays down in his bed.
yes, he would lay on there just like that before I killed him. Oh.
I
Poor
think he
Fernando.
slowly gets out of the bed after hearing that.
I killed him right there on the bed. I remember all the blood and the screaming and
Wait,
why?
wait. And I think he looks under the. Yep, blood's still here. Blood's still here.
Yep. Through pile of blood. So yeah, Fernando was supposed to clean that, but of course, it's his blood after he died.
I mean, you should clean up after yourself. I mean,
that's what I had Fernando for. He's supposed to clean that up.
No.
I'm a
I mean, he
vampire.
should have
I
cleaned
don't
up
clean
after
that.
himself when he had the.
Yes.
He's terrible. I mean, he goes off and
Exactly.
dies, and then he just doesn't clean up after himself.
That's
The hell is
just it.
wrong with him?
Literally the worst familiar I've ever had. I kill him and he doesn't even clean up his own blood. All right.
Any
Does
more
anyone
of this
have any
stuff?
fucking idea what anyone's talking about? What the fuck are you talking about? A familiar and he's dead. And why are you making it sound like you know what he's talking about?
I love you. This is great.
All right.
So, Mr. Rippy, is there a problem with?
No problem at all. No problem. Oh, just having a bit of the old tish toss up the old smashing nanas, isn't it?
There's Posh, that's right.
Just half a point up the stairs, isn't it?
Yes,
Nothing but a leaf off the old coconut, eh, bro? Yeah, you got. Anyway, what are we here
kind of
for?
like looking at the rest of you in the eyes, like.
There you go.
Sorry about that, bruv.
Do you feel better or worse after that?
You know, a bit of both, if I'm being honest. Had a wicked stomach ache, not sure it's gone.
That's you have a stomach ache?
We just haven't eaten all day. Feeling a bit
past tense.
feeling a
Oh.
bit peckish. I kind of was expecting some sort of platter of
Of course,
meats
no,
and
that's
cheeses
my
or something.
fault. I can't believe I thought we'd do the tour then the dinner, but of course you come all the way from Varna, so you must be starving, and I'm making you walk around my stupid shitty house.
That's right.
Fernando hasn't even cleaned because Fernando's fucking around somewhere and I can't find him.
He's dead.
He-
You killed him.
He might be dead.
Oh, I killed him last week. That's
Yep.
right.
Yep.
Oh man.
You
All
have
right.
a bad memory.
No, I remember everything. Don't worry. And if I forget, Fernando reminds me. And he was supposed to have made dinner for us, but I suppose he can't because he's
right.
dead.
So what
He's
are you
older,
going to
Ian.
do?
Well, I tell you what, I've got a couple employees in the basement who I'm torturing. I was going to eat one of them for dinner. If you would like something, I could have him make something for you.
Before you kill him, yeah, that would be great.
Before I kill him, but I don't really know what kind of monsters you are, and so do you want to
You
tell
don't
me
know what, sorry?
what would you like to eat?
Mate.
Bangers
Why
and
don't-
mash.
Some sort of fish would be great. You could take us to your kitchen and we could just look around.
Fish, meat. Okay, meat. I got lots of that. The alive or dead?
Dead and cooked, medium rare.
That cooked?
Yes.
Whichever.
Okay.
You've never tried it?
I mean, back before the change, I liked that kind of food a little bit.
Isn't it too common these days? All of us ascended having to, eat everything raw. Shouldn't we be able to decide?
I mean, of course, it's It's our prerogative to have whatever we want, but sure you want it cooked?
And sometimes I like to nibble, not as like a main course, but as like a side course, like baby carrots.
Oh, that's so weird. I've never tried that before.
Yes, reminds me of the old ways just a little bit.
All right, if that's the way you want to do it, I'll
It's kind of like when you only wax half your scrotum.
that makes perfect sense. Yeah, okay. No, if you'd started with that, I would have understood completely.
That's my mistake.
All right. Go, please have a seat in the kitchen, and I will bring some dinner options to us. I will be back shortly. Just maybe 5 minutes. Go down to the basement, pick up the food, and bring it back upstairs.
Don't eat them first. Bring us our food first.
That's right. Eat him after he makes the food.
Yes.
Of course. Yes, of course. Fernando, I'm going to the basement. I'm going to get dinner all by myself. He likes it when I guilt trip him a little bit.
I can imagine.
And then he kind of walks down one of the hallways, and you kind of hear the footsteps get quieter and quieter. Then you hear the footsteps get louder and louder as you kind of see him walking towards you, and then he kind of like giggles, or like one of those like awkward laughs, like and he points to the side and he walks down a different hallway.
Big house, big house. What room are we in?
So you guys are kind of in a hallway next to a whole bunch of bedrooms.
Were we right next to the master bedroom where Fernando got killed?
He thought it was the master bedroom, but it was actually just Fernando's bedroom.
Oh, yes. Okay.
Yeah.
Well, do we want to snoop around? Well, I mean, we got nothing else to do, right?
I think it's not a bad idea. He didn't tell us to wait here. He just said he was going to go get dinner.
What's over? I want to open the drawers by the by Fernando's bed.
Okay, yeah, you open up the drawers and you see very neatly folded pairs of polka dot boxers. You see a couple rolled up black and red striped socks. You see very neatly pressed and ironed button down shirts. It's all very nice and neatly kept in there.
I hold up the shorts and say, Fernando was a jester. He must have been a jester for this yerby.
And some dust actually falls off it when you hold it up.
Might have been a while.
Well, I guess
Sebastian-
no one tried to crack any jokes then. If you want to end up right
He must not have liked his sense of humor, yeah. Sebastian,
Yeah.
how old was the blood? What?
I like you, Cat Man.
Can Bishop do anything to ascertain that information?
Yeah, absolutely. So
I know I
you
don't
can-
have anything set up yet, but you know.
Yeah, exactly. But I think, I mean, you're kind of used to looking at, evidence and trying to glean the truth of situations. I think you can go ahead and roll a 2d6 plus 2 as well, since this is kind of in your wheelhouse. My God. Okay,
Whoa.
so I guess just have fun fucking solving the campaign with fucking rolls like this, a 6 and a 5, a 13 total. The blood is very old, like probably a month or two old. And there's a lot of it soaked probably like right through the mattress.
It's about a month or two old.
Wow,
About
his
my-
memory is really bad.
Yes, it is. So does that mean he hasn't eaten in a month and a half? 2 months?
Might mean his memory problems is coming from drinking blood with high cholesterol. Memory problems. Now everyone's a critic these days, huh?
No, that was a good one. I'm gonna write that down.
Okay.
That was high cholesterol. What the hell does that even mean?
You wouldn't get it. Well,
Oh,
what else can we see here?
Can I roll to like see if I see like a letter sticking out or like a stamp that's recently been used or anything like that?
Yeah. Go ahead and roll. Just kind of roll straight 2d6.
Ooh.
Wow.
Hey, let's
these
go.
Rolls. So the thing is, you just kind of take in the whole room and you kind of take a look at the other rooms and stuff like that. You really kind of get the sense that the place isn't very well taken care of in the past couple months. You do glean the fact that before it was completely abandoned, it was quite well taken care of. Like, whoever this Fernando was definitely did a good job of keeping the place clean and proper and pressed and tidy. And definitely, you know, between a month or 2 months ago, Fernando was killed by somehow releasing a massive amount of blood into the bed. And ever since then, literally nothing has been touched.
Very interesting.
It looks like once Fernando, you know, ain't nothing been touched since then.
Interesting.
Actually,
anything else? Oh, sorry. Go ahead.
oh, after you.
I was just gonna say, is there anything else in this room at all that anything that's like, oh, that looks neat?
I mean, largely it just
maybe a black book because of special names for special guests, something like that.
Okay,
Like I just
okay.
leads to kind of make ourselves useful and staying inside this house, you know.
Yeah. Okay. I kind of like that. That's a good idea. That actually makes a lot of month or two ago. Okay, sure. I'll tell you what is there. Yeah, okay. Let's take that idea. You do find under the mattress as you're kind of tossing the room, you do find a little black book, and it's got a list of names, and they're all no real correlation between any of them, and they're all very weird, monstery sounding names, and they are crossed out with a check mark and a little note beside it that's like something like eats bugs or no sunlight or is vampire or needs cage or stuff like that. And you gather that these are the previous special guests who have arrived, and this is a list of things to make sure to do or not do to appease these special guests.
Gotcha. Okay.
So in some way, shape, or form, Yerby should be trying to appease you in some way, but you're not totally sure why. But you are definitely the guests of honor, and Fernando used to go way out of his way to make sure that these special guests were taken care of properly.
I kind of want to try something, and I think how this ability works, it's actually going to be amazing. I think. Is it cool if I try it?
It depends on the ability, because you guys haven't really changed yet. Like, you don't have many abilities really yet. You're just kind of like nothing. So what is the ability?
Well, I was curious if starting moves applied, but the ability is like, I know a spell, and it's basically I tell you what effect I want the spell to do, and you have to tell me what the cost, risk, or consequences involving that spell would be.
Okay. I can tell you right now that if you attempt a spell you will quicken the change, and that will cause some uncontrolled mutations, and will kind of shorten the time that you have to find a way to deal with the change. But you can make a something happen if you want to accept a quickening of the change.
Well, I mean, if we just got here, yeah, and he's freaking shit-faced. Like I was imagining like he would this is how he kind of stumbles upon he has magic, but if we're not quite there yet, I think it wouldn't happen.
Yeah, he would kind of have to try. Like at this point, with how weak it is, he would have to really kind of poop himself to make it spell happen.
Exactly. So yeah, I will say nah.
Okay, sounds good. And then you know, as you guys are kind of looking around, you hear some footsteps and they get kind of farther away, and then you hear the footsteps getting closer again, and you see Yerby kind of walk by the door of the room that you guys are in, and he kind of glances in as he walks by, and then he walks backwards. He's like, oh, you're here, I thought you'd be in the kitchen by now.
Just checking.
No, this is Fernando's room where.
Oh, right. How strange.
And he's not in here, right?
No, Fernando.
Fernando.
No, he's not here.
Guests in the house again. I don't know where he's at. Maybe he's getting groceries or something. Anyways, we can go have some dinner now, and I'll make you something very nice. You like the cooked meat?
Sometimes, yes.
Oh, I ate a cooked meat, yes.
All right.
Do you have any bugs in?
Bugs. Let's see. Fernando is supposed to buy. I'm sure I have some in the cupboards. I'll get one of my employees to get one for you before I kill him.
Great.
Excellent.
And you, Mr. Sebastian, what kind of food would you like?
Yes.
All right. Perfect. 3 cooked meats. 3 cooked meats and the bug.
No. Would you, if you wouldn't mind getting me a jammy dodger?
A jammy dodger.
Hey. Perhaps a chip buddy.
What's
Right.
jammy?
Sounds good. Chip. Or a chip buddy.
Chip
Chip
buddy?
Yeah, chip buddy. Or a
Chip
jammy dodger.
buddy.
Hi. You
What's
got it. A jammy dodger or a chip buddy. All right. Sounds good. Okay.
Chip buddy.
And he like turns around and he's just looking at the wall now.
All right, we can go to the kitchen. I'll get your food. And he kind of leads you down a couple hallways, and at one point he kind of walks down a hallway, then he looks up at a chandelier. It's like, oh, this is the wrong way, and then he has to like kind of turn you all around and kind of follow you out the hallway kind of thing. And he's like, it's just a right down there. Yeah, it's a right. You end up going down to this giant dining hall with this huge table. All the settings are out. Big lit up chandelier, nice silverware. You got your soup spoons, your other spoons, the little spoons, the salad forks and meat forks and other forks and two-tine forks and whatever the fuck else goes in a big fucking setting. And he has you all sit down, and he brings this guy out, just this guy who looks fucking sullen and sunken, and his eyes are dark circles from not having slept, and he looks beaten. You can see some blood on his on the cuffs of his shirt and on the bottom of his pants kind of thing. And he's just kind of standing there staring at the ground. And he's like, all right, what kind of meat do you like? Arm meat? Leg meat?
Tummy for me.
Tummy meat, okay. And he kind of grabs a like rapier off the fireplace mantle.
Uh-oh.
and he just like fucking slashes the guy across the stomach. The guy just starts screaming. He's like, quiet.
Oh my
quiet.
God.
You're supposed to be dinner. You be quiet now. Fernando, they're yelling again. All right. Couple more cuts should do it. And he slashes the guy a couple times and just kind of rips a piece of meat off the guy's stomach as the guy's screaming. He's like, all right.
I think Rippy is like has a horrified grimace on his face, and then as he rips the stomach meat off, he like absentmindedly licks his lips.
I don't think there's any more stomach meat left on this one. Anybody else? Some thigh meat, all right. And he like kind of stands on the guy's chest, and the guy like literally is incapable of getting away when he does that. And he just, after a couple swipes, hacks off a piece of leg meat. And it's on the ground. He's like, I'll pick that up in a minute. Other meat from this one?
I'm a rib man myself.
Ribs. Okay, we'll do that one last. And
I had my heart set on bugs, but if I
that's
could do
right, you
some
wanted the
ears. Like if you're sparing the ears.
the ears. Okay, that's I don't get ears very often. Okay.
Oh, a delicacy, the texture.
And he kind of like takes a slash at the guy's face and kind of cuts the ear half off and just slashes through the face. And then takes another slash. The ear comes off. He's like, all right, now the ribs. I think we might have to kill this one before we get the ribs. They make a mess when they're flailing around. He just stabs the guy through the heart. And then like with his bare hands, pushes his fingers through the guy's rib cage and rips off a chunk of ribs.
Ooh.
And then he's kind of standing there holding a chunk of stomach, a severed ear, a couple ribs with some meat on it, and a giant chunk of thigh. And he says, Johnson, I've got your friend here. And another guy walks in looking just like equally as defeated and sunken and sullen. And he kind of plops all the meat into the guy's arms, like, cook this until it's cooked meat. Okay? Then you come back here and I eat you. Okay? Okay. He'll do a really good job. Don't worry. He's great at this. And if he's not, I'll kill his family.
Whoa.
Oh, ooh. Right.
And then he kind of sits down, and like he's covered in blood at this point, and he just kind of like starts sucking his fingers and licking his fingers and licking the lace cuffs of his hand.